And we are back on the Monday night with Primetime MMA Fight Night 25. I'm your host, the Doctor. Joining me in the booth tonight is Dirty Dave and ever great Mr. Humble-Dink.
Hello, glad to be here.
How you doing? I can't wait for this card. Dirty Dave, how you looking at this one? This card looks fantastic to me. I don't know about yourself, but there's some amazing matchups on this one.
Yeah, I'm really liking some of those matchups on the main card. I think there's some great matchups, particularly Intro versus Dirty. That one intrigues me a lot.
I'm surprised you didn't say yourself. That was going to be a good fight with this magical card, Doctor. I don't know about you, but I'm excited for that one.
Yeah, well, ever since he's got that 10-second knockout, he's always been a very interesting fight to see. I've always enjoyed seeing if he's going to get one of those KOs again, especially fighting someone like Bang Bang as well. Bang Bang's going to go out with a bang, as per the name, and it's going to be a fun fight. Moving further down your card, you have fighters like Great Mist, an easy comparison to the players of Bang Bang. Got Caliber in a featured event of the prelim. Further down, you have yourself against MLE 2016. It isn't on the graphic. That's just a slight fuck up on our part, but sometimes it happens. It's just a stacked card all round, though.
Yeah, 100%. You got people like Mystic Mac versus Broomstick on the prelims, number 9 versus number 12. That's going to be an absolute banger at welterweight. And then, like I said, myself versus MRE. Both of us, I believe, are 1-0. So it'll be an interesting one. Someone's all has got to go dirty. Dave.
And Dave seems to be dead. We love that. We got Pudgy as well on the card. Just noticing a couple of names: Ricardo, Matty D. I forgot to mention, and Cryptic Optics, which is a very interesting fight. The main event, of course, being LW Reaper versus Deaglefly. Now, this will be for the title shot on Sunday's event against Atticus. So it'll be interesting to see which one will win it, because they'll be going on to get a title fight. However, though, with that being said, I feel like that's enough said about the actual card, and we should get into the first fight of the night.
Of course, it's going to be Gildenton versus BSD Big E at welterweight. Let's get these guys up and see who they're going to be picking. I was jumping straight into it. So, Dave, do you know much about any of these guys?
No, I don't actually know anything about either of them. You gotta assume that Masvidal is gonna be looking to apply the pressure. Maybe do some fancy kicks. Luque is going to probably retreat, throw some leg kicks.
Yeah, obviously Luque is one of them strikers on this game. Like, he can kind of surprise you, but obviously Masvidal is the OP pick, Doctor.
Well, a quick rundown here is it's interesting to see Dale go a Masvidal pick. He's typically a Ferguson player, especially in welterweight division. He likes the cardio. He's like the chin, so maybe we're expecting to see a bit more aggressive pick. Luque does have the health stats, though, and that's probably going to be the biggest play here. Both of them are fairly similar on striking. Masvidal's got good recovery, but the main health stats definitely go into the favour of Luque, Dave.
Yeah, but that's only to an extent, because Masvidal does have force of nature, which really plays a factor if you get ahead early. Which a lot of people don't know. Force of nature actually does apply to legs and body as well.
Interesting fact right there. We got Masvidal getting backed up by Luque right now. The leg kicks coming out fast from Big E. Big E's nearly getting caught with a big knee right there. Masvidal now retreating. These two are throwing down Doctor in the center of the octagon.
They really are. The health stats. That leg kick is probably going to be a major play. I'm expecting Luque to keep working that leg. If he can get that leg worked very decently, he'll lower the power of Masvidal, just give him the easier ability to trade. Maybe throw a couple body shots in as well. Both of them trying to establish their range, although Dale seems to be the one better here since he's just maintaining that pocket position.
Nice combo from Luque. I feel like Luque is just looking to retreat, make Masvidal miss, and then throw once Masvidal's already thrown.
Couldn't agree more with you right there. You are completely right. He's making him miss, and then he's trying to let you go right as you said it. Perfect time, and the counter elbow gets him, drops him. He's going against the fence right now. He's going to try and land some more damage as he's got him pinned right there, Doctor. He is in trouble.
That body kick, though, by Dale's doing quite a bit. Flying knee lands as well. Both of them firing the 1-2s down the middle. That lead hook looking to land, and a double up on that straight there. 1-2. Misses again. Leg kicks come back, and both of them are just exchanging wildly. Both of them are clearly just looking to stand here and bang with each other.
I'm not liking that. Luque is just throwing a whole lot of shots up the middle. If this Masvidal went to slip, he could easily get a slip straight.
Nice counter hook right there from Masvidal. I do agree that you can see the head blinking right now from Big E and Luke here. He's got to be careful. The legs are kind of beat up as well, and the body. He has had some success in this round. He definitely got a big shot with that counter elbow, but it looks like Gildenton is just taking his head off or chipping away bit by bit, Doctor.
Yeah, well, the thing here is mainly is that they're both exchanging a lot, but Dale Denton's getting the better exchanges when he does actually land. He's doing that a bit more damage, a bit more chip damage. He's worked the body quite nicely as well, and that's something Big E's got to be wary of coming into these last 30 seconds. The leg kicks as well, both of them fairly damaged, so their power stats going to be a bit reduced. And with 20 seconds left, they're still both going at it.
Luke's still just throwing up the middle. I would like to see Masvidal stop being so flashy. He's throwing moving body kicks, a lot of flying double knees. I feel like he just needs to calm down, but he is doing the damage, so I gotta give that round to him.
However,
Looks like he's had more of the success with accuracy-wise. 124 shots thrown there from Luke and 54 landed. So that's around 70 shots that he's missed right there in the first round. And you've got to think, if someone's missing around 70 shots and the other guy's missing around 50, that stamina's got to be an issue as well as we go into the second round, Doctor.
Yeah, the second round. Luke did also score a knockdown in that round, so that definitely secures the victory, even if it was fairly competent. The body health of Luke and chin is definitely a bit compromised here, especially as he get stunned there. Masvidal coming forward, starting to put on this pressure, leg kicks iron off, and Dale Denton's back to this pressure meta, but he's also happy to stay on the back foot by the scenes of it.
Yeah, I actually was mistaken. Luke did get that knockdown, which does secure him in the round. But I still think Masvidal's ahead in this fight, in good position to win these next two rounds.
Big left hook there from Luke. Masvidal misses again. He got caught with another counter elbow right there. Right hook, or right straight even to answer his troubles. But I do agree with you, Dave. He's as I say that, he gets caught again. He's gonna get back up against the push with that big knee, and he gets dropped.
Lovely defense though there by Dale. He managed to avoid getting finished off that lead hook drop, and now we're on the ground. It's an interesting part. Luke's got a lot of subs here, Dave, and you got to imagine that he's going to want to look for one.
Yeah, I'd imagine. He could also just go for ground and pound, which is what most people do. But I really like the difference in Luke's ground game. Luke was building GA and then going, but he never transitioned. Masvidal was just blindly going for transitions and getting denied.
Maybe some frustration right there on Gildenton's part as he gets rocked again. Well, I said rocked, he got blinked to the head, and now he's going to get hit a few more times from Luke. Looking for that elbow. He gets it again, and he gets dropped to the floor, Doctor.
Yeah, well, lovely to know there by Dale Denton. As you said, though, with the frustration, you could see it. Luke's just in and out of that pocket non-stop. Dale Denton's looking to stand in the pocket and throw. You see there, that lead, that jab into rear hook has been his mainstay. But so far, Luke's just managing to come in that pocket and counter and gets the drop again. And Dale's really got to survive here. He's nearly about to be finished, and he does so.
It's over.
Great performance right there. That was amazing work. Dale Denton, maybe some frustration, as we were saying now. You won the pullback counter. He seemed to be doing really well in the first round, Dave. I don't know about yourself, but I felt like he was doing more of the damage, even though he got dropped. And then in the second round, Luke just took over.
He kept getting hit when he was vulnerable. He got dropped throwing fancy stuff a few times, and that was really the factor. He also got pull elbowed, which was devastating multiple times.
100%. Wow. Well, what a fight to start us off on this evening, and always the prime time guarantee. It's what you have here at prime time. It's one of the best organizations in the world, and we always have banging fights from our competitors. Would you say that's true, Doctor?
Well, I think as Bane coined the term, it's the primetime guarantee. Your every fight's going to be a banger one way or another. And that's kind of the way we like to do things here. Emtran versus Megatony's up next, looking to put on a fight of the night, I'd imagine. And we're in the featherweight division, Chung versus McGregor, and those two are going to have some heavy hands being flung at one another.
Now, Dave, I don't know about you, but if you see an opponent opposite you in the featherweight division and you've got Conor McGregor and you see a chance on Young, I always lick my lips because I think that's going to be an easier fight than it usually would be if you were fighting someone like a Max Holloway, a Volkanovski, a Joe Saldo, etc. How do you feel about that?
I agree with you a lot. Chansung Jung is just not really a good fighter. He doesn't really got range. He has some health, but that's really all he's got going for him. He also has jujitsu, but
I
in featherweight division, not a lot of people are looking to take you down.
Well, this is true in the featherweight division. Unless you're going Volkanovski, Chancellor Jones is definitely more well equipped to fight a Volkanovski than he is a McGregor. I do say though that Chancellor Jung, if you can play it correctly, you can kind of counter the main issue is though, as you said, is kind of the fact that he's not particularly good on the feet, especially compared to the normal grappling. With that being said, though, gets a lovely takedown there, Humble, and this may be in the lead of Chancellor Jung here.
100%. And I will give you some facts about Chan Sung. He's my favourite fighter of all time. I absolutely love the Korean Zombie. He does have an amazing win over Dustin Poirier, one of the best fights I've ever seen in my life. And ironically, on the ground, he is dangerous. If it translates to the game or not is completely different, but this guy's got some hellish submissions. He's one of the first people to get a twister in the UFC. I believe he is the first person to get a twister in the UFC against Leonard Garcia, I believe. So this guy's dangerous. You've got to watch out for the submissions, and if he utilizes Jung well, he could potentially be getting a dangerous submission on Megatron right now.
Lovely job there, getting to the back. McGregor's now got to start thinking about putting on his pressure, making sure that that takedown attempt doesn't happen again, since McGregor on the ground ain't the best, and this is where he wants to go, Dave.
Yeah, I'd imagine that McGregor's going to become a lot more technical now, not rushing in, getting taken down, and it's exactly what happens.
Wow.
Commentary cursed, evidently Humble. Yeah, I'm not sure what you want. I'm not sure what we need to see from McGregor now. I'll assume he needs to look through his way up and then put this pressure on, because if he's not winning on the feet, he's not going to be winning much else.
He's got to be careful of rushing forward. At the moment, he's kind of plodding forward into Megatoni, sorry, and he's walking into the takedowns, walking into the range. He's not throwing feints out there. He's not throwing traps out there for his opponent to kind of overshoot, overextend. That's coming from the Chansung Jung at the moment, the Korean Zombie, and that's why McGregor and M-Tran's walking into them takedowns at the moment. And he's going to have to adjust his game plan going into the next round or late in this round to kind of get some offense on.
Yeah, I agree. I need to see the McGregor keep his hands lower. Those are two takedowns that I really feel like should have been denied. There was no turn, barely even a drive, and I feel like he just messed up.
It does seem to be that case. The knee comes out, two aggressive hooks, a straight cotton down the middle, and McGregor gets body kicked there. He's gonna have to look to establish that jab. I feel like he's coming in with like a rear uppercut, a lead hook, and if you're McGregor, your jab and your straight are probably your two strongest weapons. You can get those off, you probably got half the game sorted.
Beautiful work there from Chansung Jung, and obviously there's this mix of martial arts. When you're mixing the takedowns, guess what? It sets up the shots to the head, etc. Makes your opponent think about something other than just striking, and that's exactly what Chansung Jung was doing at the end of the round there. He was landing shots at will because McGregor was kind of worried about the takedowns. He'd already been taken down twice, and I do believe that is a round in the books for Chansung Jung. I don't know about you, Dave?
I have to agree completely. McGregor was winning some of the exchanges on the feet, but it just wasn't enough for the damage that happened on the ground.
Here we go again. We meet back in the center of the octagon. Jung with hands and knee right there. McGregor coming out a bit more aggressive. He's going to be trying to land. As Doctor said a second ago, I believe he needs to use that jab more. He used to use the double jab. He needs to utilize that. But great movement so far from Megatoni.
So far, sorry to cut you off there, but so far we've seen a lot of the body kicks by McGregor, a lot of the body work. Not many punches though, and as a McGregor player, you've got to imagine you want to be using those punches. You hit like a truck, and that's the main thing here. You're looking to knock his head off. Lovely takedown there, lovely job, and now we're back into side control position. Probably going to see a lot more elbows. Does manage to get retained to half guard, probably look for the full guard now. Instead ends up in bottom side control in crucifix again.
Yeah, those are three times in a row he's gone for that crucifix and got it without even building GA or getting a deny. I feel like this McGregor, he just has to be more careful. If he just camps that, he can deny the crucifix and then get out of side control.
Yeah, M-Tron at the moment is not utilising the McGregor how you kind of want him to utilise it. He's probably getting a bit frustrated with the takedowns from Megatoni, but Megatoni doing a fantastic job at the moment of utilising Chansung Jung in the best way possible. He's using the takedowns, he's using the strike, and he's cutting the cage, and he's having them takedowns that will, like Dave said, Doctor.
Yeah, those takedowns at will have been the main part of the fight. Emtran now back on the feet finally. 2 minutes 30 left on the clock. He wants to probably using that jab, work down that block, then slipping hooks behind the block and just working it. Chang Sung Jung, although he's got a good chin, McGregor's power in featherweight is heavy. If you hit him cleanly like that, that's exactly what you want.
Wow, he caught him with a huge head kick right there. Took Chan Sung Jung's face off, went out on the ground, but wasn't able to capitalise because he was throwing over shots. Now Chan Sung Jung and Emtran do it, making the smart decision, Dave, and taking him to the ground immediately.
Yep. I 100% agree with that decision. You get hurt, you go where you have the advantage, and he's been winning on the ground the whole time.
Big shots.
Get some heavy shots in the backside position. Doesn't get to deny this time. A minute 20 left on the clock. Emtran playing the defensive game, and Chang Sung Jung probably looking now to get that get a payback on the knockdown he got earlier.
Emtran there, you are completely right. Dave, what would you like to see from Emtran right now to kind of change this fight around? What would you be doing on the feet to make to utilize Conor McGregor and kind of take away what Chan Sung Jung's doing at the moment?
I feel like the only thing he can do is just have better takedown defense. That's something you're supposed to have ready before the fight. So he's kind of in an awkward position between trying to be technical and get some damage off before it gets to the ground, and trying to
Head kick gets the stun. Chang Sung Jung putting on his pressure, both trading in the last second, doesn't get a knockdown, and imagine Chang Sung Jung may have lost that fight. Lost that round at least.
Big head kick might have swung that in Conor McGregor's favour, even though in my opinion he was kind of getting outclassed from maybe the majority of that round, Dave. I feel like that head kick could have potentially swayed it towards the judges. It could be 1-1 going to the third.
Yeah, I agree, and that actually puts this McGregor in a really good position. He doesn't have to win this round yet. As long as he doesn't get taken down, he can play this slow, not get taken
Commentary
down.
cursed. Commentary cursed. Don't want to take down, gets taken down. McGregor gets denied again. Chang Sung Jung has got 4 minutes 30 on the clock to do. He gets to maintains the half guard crucifix position into side saddle, and this is exactly where you want to be. Chang Sung Jung, you had most success in the last 2 rounds on the ground, and you might as well continue it here. Taking his back now, does go for the half guard, doesn't get it, into a back flat, and now this is very dangerous for McGregor.
He's going to need a few shots right now. He does well to get back to his feet, but he just doesn't want to be in this position. He needs to get back to a half guard position, but maintain the amount of stamina. And he manages to get up there. That was definitely some frustration. And if I'm Emtran, I'm kicking myself right there, Dave, because that's kind of an easy denial and an obvious one.
Yeah, I would honestly be camping that just so I don't risk of messing up the denial. And let him.
Well,
I'm totally confident going to half guard. Ooh.
Yeah, I'm gonna say camping the takedown denial is the scary part, because if you do, you're gonna end up with issues. Putting on this, McGregor gets the knockdown, and this could all he needs to win this round.
Oh, this is back and forth right now. Chan Sung Jung landed a big shot a second ago. McGregor's coming back with the hooks. Is he gonna get pulled back though? We've seen it earlier. Right there, going for the big shots right now. Dave, he's got him against the fence.
Finally denies the takedown.
The
that is
low.
massive.
He's got the knockdown. He just needs to not get taken down. I like that he had his hands low. He sprawled him. He's not rushing it anymore. It's looking good.
Still would be nice. I know it's so late in the round. We've got 2 minutes left, but it'd be lovely to see that jab starting to be utilised by McGregor. That's kind of what he needs. He's starting to taunt, gets the head kick, and
he's going to knock him out right now. He's got a chance to win this fight. He goes to the ground and pound.
And
can't block
he gets it done.
Wow.
Holy crap! Wow.
Wow.
That was incredible.
That was a comeback.
Well, you think about it, the second it was 1-1 going to the third.
I mean, it was 1-1, but you definitely saw who had the better skill set there, I'd say. And somehow Emtran did a fantastic job just getting that knockdown straight afterwards, clipping on the end, and then dropping down to KO him.
In the worlds of Wilder, though, against Conor McGregor, you have to be perfect for the full 15 minutes, and he's got to be perfect for a couple of shots. So you've got to be careful, because you're fighting a Conor McGregor. He's got that power. He's got the accuracy. I think it's 99 accuracy he has. So you've got to be careful. Otherwise, you're on the receiving end of some fatal blows on the ground, Dave.
Yeah, Chung Jung's got to be kicking himself for letting him up so easily. That was his round to win. He had him down, and he got up and ended up getting finished.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, that is
Good fight.
It was a good fight indeed. Yeah, no, it was a great fight indeed. Chancellor Chung came out, took that grappling advantage, and then came back. And Tran did a fantastic job there. Although I've got a few issues with his striking, I would love to see him come back and re-establish himself. Work on that takedown, get that jab a bit more prominent, especially when using someone like McGregor. McGregor's got a perfect jab for that. You can work down a block and then sneak shot past. However, though, moving on to our next fight of the night, we have Halt versus Smart Brady in the featherweight division on the PlayStation.
Brilliant. Smart Brady currently ranked number 10th in the PlayStation division. This one's going to be a featherweight. He's 1-1 at the moment. Halt yet to be ranked in the top 15, but I'm sure he'll want to be making a name for himself against such a prolific player like Smart Brady. I'm sure Smart Brady was on Xbox before, and he's kind of moved over to the PlayStation side, so it'll be interesting to see how he does right now against Halt.
Holloway McGregor match, and it's going to be an interesting one. Does clip the straight on top to begin with. McGregor putting on this pressure, although his combos are missing, and that's kind of risky against someone like a Holloway player.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like Brady's playing way too close to this Holloway. He's gonna, if he gets as close as he is right now, he's gonna get picked apart by the hooks and uppercuts. And he should stick to jab straight with McGregor.
Yeah, I just seen him taunt right there, give a little sniggle, because, when you start getting taunts early in the fight in the first minute, there's going to be a bit of fun going on, especially with a Max Holloway pick. It's usually bait you into them straight attacks or the 20-piece combinations that you can't get out of the way of. But yeah, he's using a great job of using Holloway at the moment. Right there, Brady's in trouble right now. He's on thin ice.
He blocks low, just got that 3-piece to the face. Holloway staying fairly content using that weird, peculiar head movement you don't see particularly. And right now, Brady seems to be wanting to clip him with a head kick when he does it.
Yeah, I think he should back away from the head kick. Clout's using a lot of head movement, and there's a good chance it could get ducked.
Yeah, you are right. He keeps looking to his left-hand side as well. Obviously, there's advice for that. Go for the body kicks, right? You've got some options when someone's kind of moving the head quite a lot. You're going to hurt the body. You're going to give a bit more. They're going to be more vulnerable to the body. So them shots are there. But you've got to be careful when someone's backing away like that, because when they decide to come forward, when they engage with
clap at the end. That's always good to see. Where Holloway head kick narrowly avoids, and I think McGregor's style here is to just work that body. Like if Holloway is going to be committed to working that head, how about you just go down, work that body, try and make him gas out. It may be Holloway, but it's still a viable method.
Yeah, I'd like to see some lead body hooks. That's what you should do instead of moving their head. If you time it perfect, it's an instant rock. Ooh, that was a nasty head kick.
On any type of pullback, especially if you make him pull back and drive body kick, you can also get a lovely rock to then capitalize on. Does clip on the straight there when he throws a body kick. So far, he's been knocked down twice. Brady's been the main player putting on his pressure. Holloway has his back against the cage for most of it, and so far that seems to be the case for all of it.
He's starting to land right now, though, and as I say that, Brady comes forward and drops his opponent. He's going to go for the finish. He gets up kick to the face and back to the feet, but Brady was having a slight bit of success right there. It's just Holloway is dictating the engagement terms at the moment. The problem that Brady's got is when they engage, it's because Holloway wants to, not because Brady wants to. He's usually out of the way of Brady's shots, and when he's out of the way, he lands a combination right after he's able to counter.
Actually disagree. Brady's the one advancing, backing him up, but when Brady goes to throw, Holloway just throws first and beats him, lands a combo, hurts Brady bad.
Yeah, well, again, you can see it again. He whiffs that head kick and then Holloway comes back and retaliate. It seems to be the case of as soon as Brady backs off, or that distance you saw there, just misses the uppercut, and Holloway gets to counter. It's more about the counter base. He's playing on the back foot and just looking for the openings. And if someone like McGregor humble, that's probably exactly what you want to be doing.
Well, McGregor's kind of a counter striker, right? So he's the type of fighter he does advance a lot in some of his fights, but a lot of the time he's baiting his opponent into throwing and then countering with feints. And at the moment, you've got Brady kind of throwing his shots, and then once he's finished that shot, like you did say, Dave, he's getting countered. So he's got to be super careful, or even set some traps. If he's trying to set up the head kick, he's got to either make him walk into it, or he's got to set it up a bit better than he is at the moment.
Brady,
Yeah,
now.
I'd like to see Brady play some footsies, back him up to the cage. Only once Max throws, you back up, then you throw your combo.
It's that 1-2 lead hook that's been the mainstay. Does get the stun, but iCloud instantly moves his head off the center line. Front kick narrowly avoids, and now McGregor's back into the face of Holloway. Body kick hits, doesn't get it, and not particularly sure what Brady needs to do here, to be fair, Dave. He's having a bit of difficulty in getting anything off, but he does seem like he's doing the right methodology at least.
Yeah, he's getting there. He's landing. He just needs better defense. Cloud's landing combos just whenever he wants to. He's not missing at all.
Uppercut attempt right there. He's trying to cut the cage off, though. Brady's trying to kind of, like you said, play some footsies, get him against that fence, and that's going to limit the options and the movement at the moment from Holloway. But he's choosing to just fire, and it's working out for him. He's firing right now, right at that block that he's already done damage to. He's going for the front kick down the middle, and Brady is on thin ice again. He goes back to the fence. You see the clap from Cloud. He's a confident human being right now.
McGregor's got to hope that his power shots can come through here. As we saw with the Chung fight, he was losing that, and then McGregor came back and succeeded. He also needs to start walking away from those shots. If he can just make Holloway miss on those spinning shots, you can literally just get a lead hook and sometimes get a flash KO from it. Head kick there, doesn't get the stun, does get the wobble though, and back in the clinch, stunt put on this pressure. 2 minutes left on the clock, gets another body kick, which he needs to start sidestepping at the minimum.
I agree. Brady could end this fight if he sidesteps one of them. Holloway's head health's already fairly low. Just one huge counter, rear hook, it's over.
Yeah, if I'm Brady right now, I'm looking for the movements, the huge movements that iCloud's kind of making, and he's caught him right there with a left hook, straight head kick, beautiful work. He's going back against the fence. He's got his guard high, trying to press his opponent right now. But Holloway doing a good job of kind of backing his opponent up with some body shots right there.
Brady's getting the stun, and then iCloud's moving his head like that. As Dave said, if you want the body there, if you just swing a couple hooks to body, you're most likely going to end up with a body stun as well. And I think that's exactly what Brady needs to do here. He stuns a Holloway and then starts doing it, gets clipped by the hook, and Brady's got to play really careful on defense. Doesn't know, and that's it for Brady.
Second round finish from iCloud. Excellent work right there. It was a back and forth war of technical ability. Both guys trying to find the range, and both of the guys had some technical success, especially they both rocked nice head kicks from either side. I think Brady was kind of one step behind right there, and iCloud, he got ahead and caught Brady throwing a kick in the pocket as well, which you never want to be doing against a Max Holloway player, especially when you can throw 5-piece at your head in seconds.
Yeah, that was a terrible mistake from Brady. I think all Brady needed to do was either duck one of those head kicks, since Max was throwing a lot of them, or just sidestep that jumping spinning side kick.
He was throwing it a lot, especially some of the push kicks down the middle as well. There's a lot of combinations that he kind of mixed it up with, but that's the biggest vulnerability one that I can think of. And obviously, if he ducks that and throws a left hook inside of that pocket, it's a rock or it's good night, as you know. But a great fight, another great fight on the card. There's been 3 right now. We've had 3 and there's been 3. Amazing primetime cards so far, Doctor.
And up it has indeed. With that note being said, we are on to our next fight of the night. TMF Nate Dogg versus DG Pesco, if I'm not mistaken in how I'm pronouncing that name. Lightweight division. I think we saw a Gaethje versus Poirier match, so it's going to be an interesting one. Both of them have got power. One's got arguably better grappling, but that's not to say the other can't grapple.
I love this fight. I can't wait to see this fight again. Hopefully one day. Gaethje versus Poirier. The first fight in real life was a banger, and these two meet in the middle of the octagon right now, and both exchanging jabs, Dirty Dave.
Yeah, I like it. They're filling each other out. Just see what happens. Missed leg kick. I don't like that. He's a moving leg kick from really far away. It's easy to counter.
Easier to counter, but sometimes it's effective in closing that range. If you do it, most people aren't going to really expect that moving leg kick. Gaethje coming back, body kick in the pocket. We saw how deadly those can be, and Gaethje does get a bit of a power shot there. The jab being tripled up on there, and does slip the straight though in the straight retaliation. Poirier's got to be wary of his head health. Make sure he's engaging when his head health is at spool. Otherwise, that's going to happen.
Big uppercut right there. Knee goes against the fence, and now he's going to try and finish the fight. He gets a nice bit of ground and pound right there, and they're up against the clinch. Now he's knee into the body, and Nate Dogg's in trouble. He gets out of the back door. Is he going to engage while his head health's low? No, he's back to normal right now, Dave.
Yeah, Poirier needs to be a lot more defensive. He's just advancing, throwing kicks right next to Gaethje. If Gaethje just throws a combo in the middle of one of those, he's gonna get dropped again.
We seen it last night as well. In the last fight as well. Someone throwing a kick in the pocket, and that combination kind of landed and putting them out. You've got to be super careful of timing those kicks. I always like to throw them when my opponent's going backwards rather than coming forwards. If I know my opponent's going backwards, I know they're not going to be kind of coming back for a counter most times, and I can kind of land that kick as they're exiting the pocket. But Nate Dogg seems to be relentless in trying to get them kicks, and at the moment circling a lot, Doctor.
I'm going to say the circling was kind of making me a bit dizzy. A clean get up there by Nate Dogg, and then Nate Dogg probably just needs to look to establish that jab a bit more. He started off very well with that jab, and I think that's going to be his main tool of the fight. If he can get that jab established, he can then start building up from it. But instead, again, Gaethje clips him with that power and starts getting that jab, looking to sneak shots past the block.
I think Poirier needs to just ride out this round. He's been dropped twice. He just got rocked. He's be like, okay, I've lost a round. There's 2 more rounds. We can try to win those 2.
Yeah, he's doing well with his boxing. I'm noticing he's having much more success with throwing his combinations in the pocket with his boxing rather than focus on the kicks. The kicks aren't working for me against Gaethje as well because he's timing the kicks well inside the pocket. He's throwing his own combination, and that's when he's getting ahead. He's backing up, and he's that's it, that he gets dropped as well.
Does miss the leg kick, and Gaethje again establishing that jab, the hook coming behind, trades on the hook. Poirier getting a better job putting on the aggression. The elbow misses. 20 seconds left on the clock. A flying knee in retaliation. Both of them are just swinging for the fences.
Yeah, this is crazy. I find it odd both of them are just going all out. Gaethje had this round in the bag. He still won that round with the 2 drops. And Poirier, after being dropped twice, it wouldn't take a lot to drop him again, so I find that very odd.
I feel like Gaethje, he kind of maybe some lack of discipline and some frustration right there again. He was winning the round kind of comfortably. He kind of discredited his opponent, walked into a couple of shots, didn't want to take a step back when he was hurt as well, which you have to do if you've been hurt, you've been rocked. You've got to gather yourself and get your wits about, unless you're an incredible counter striker.
Yeah, well, Nate Dogg's also now starting to establish those hooks as well. You saw him start the jabs to begin with. Coming to the second round, the hooks have been the mainstay. Does get clipped by the head kick, and Gaethje now looking to throw some overhand. Trading in the pocket, both of them. Their heads are very low. Gets dropped by the hook, and now Nate Dogg is on the leading foot here.
He's kind of caught on. Gaethje's going for slip elbows. He's going hook, 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 hook. It's working.
Nice. Knockout!
That was an awesome knockout. That overhand definitely was unexpected, but looked so clean. Lovely job there by Nate Dogg with the Poirier pick.
Second round finish right there for Poirier, and I like the adjustments he made that he did. Obviously, he clicked on. He had a rough start to the fight, but as soon as he started landing, he didn't stop landing, and he ends up getting a huge knockout right there and a nice clean one as well.
Yeah, I agree 100%. He gathered himself. He's like, okay, I've only lost 1 round. There's 2 more to go. And he found his opportunities and followed up on it.
Beautiful work. Nice. Again, another amazing fight in prime time. Hasn't been a bad fight all night yet. But we'll move on to the next bout. Doctor, can you tell us that one is?
Stone Cold versus Bobblehead. I'm not particularly sure what names they've also competed under. I think both of them have done. We've got the welterweight division with the Prime Icon, so it's going to be an interesting one. Maybe we'll see a GSP, maybe we'll see an Uzman. Who particularly knows?
we have a Stone Cold as a ranked PS opponent as well. He's coming in 1-0 at 14. So Bobblehead's going to be coming in to try and take away that ranked spot from Stone Cold at the moment. Obviously, still early on, and then ranking days. But you know, Stone Cold can go 2-0 right now and move up that PlayStation rankings.
Touch the gloves here. We have a no HUD fight. It seems like interesting indeed. We've got Uzman in the white trunks. We've got GSP in the blue trunks, and it's a very interesting fight, you got to admit, Dave.
Yeah. I don't know why you would have no HUD. I wonder if that was a mistake.
Oh, I kind of like it, but it's really hard to commentate.
Yeah, it is.
The fight itself, prime GSP versus Uzman, something a lot of people are debating right now, especially with Uzman's kind of run. And you've seen these guys be very technical in the center of the octagon right now, Dave. And it seems like a very interesting fight. They're trying to sim it out really well.
Yeah, they're kind of filling each other out, but also kind of chasing it at the same time. When the other's out of range, they're throwing kicks. I kind of like it.
I kind of like how they're playing very slow pace, not really engaging. I think Uzman needs to get a better jab established. His jab straight is the best weapon on Usman's entire arsenal. Goes for a couple body hooks. That's interesting. Digs down there. Also should be noted that GSP's recovery stats are a bit better with prime GSP, so it means he's able to trade a bit more. And so far, even if he didn't, I think GSP's just getting a better just shots off in general.
Yeah, the shot selection is there. Very methodical, as you were saying earlier on, the way these two are fighting right now. As I say that, he whiffs a huge kick, and I'm surprised Uzman didn't capitalise on that. Goes for the Superman punch, follows up with the uppercut. And the uppercuts and the straights at the moment from GSP seem to be landing a lot, Dave.
Yeah, I'd agree. GSP, other than that whiff kick, he's really been landing pretty well. I'd like to see the wrestling in a GSP versus Uzman matchup. Fight kind of comes down to who can get the other one down first. They both have huge takedowns and 97 takedown defense, both of them, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, in terms of the better top grappler, it's definitely GSP. He's got 98 ground striking, 98 top game. I think he's got better takedowns than Uzman, in fact. And so, in terms of the top game, it's definitely in the favour of GSP. However, Uzman, it's got that power, and if you start getting bombs rained down in that ground and pound position, you're looking for a really tough time to stay alive.
Yeah, if I'm Uzman right now, I'm trying to take the clinch. The clinch is a really important part for an Uzman player, in my opinion. GSP obviously with the ground stats. If you look at
that's a lovely. And he got the stun there as well. Body shot there, uppercut. Oh,
interesting.
Axe kick as well. Okay, can we just point out, I don't think Usman's actually thrown that many shots up until now, and then he's proceeded to get about 3 to 4 knockdowns in the space of about 20 seconds or so.
Yeah, I don't believe GSP's head health had fully recovered. Obviously, we can't know for sure, but I feel like after GSP got rocked, he just went right back at Uzman when he should have covered up and let that head health recover.
Yeah, the full sense of confidence of kind of winning the round and doing really well and having some big shots off. But you've got to kind of remember when you're fighting the likes of the Uzman or a Yoel Romero or anybody else with big power like Francis Ngannou. Doesn't matter if you win in the round, it takes one shot. The Conor McGregor we see versus Chung, for instance, earlier on, you've just got to be wary at all times that one shot can end your life. Oh, what a shot selection, right? Beautiful work.
Starts just looking for that body. Gets the knockdown though. Lovely job there by GSP. Gonna look to rain down shots. Doesn't. Gets back up on the feet. It kind of interesting for saying it's a GSP. You have that top game. You should really start using it.
I'm sure there's.
Oh my! Sorry, Dave. I cut you off right there, but he nearly got head kicked as he was.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm sure there was some type of mutual agreement. No wrestling. Maybe they both have no HUD on.
Yeah, it happens sometimes, you know. maybe these guys have come up with some sort of agreement beforehand to kind of make the fight a bit more exciting, but he gets dropped again, and GSP is near that fence. I do like to see the ground and pound. I do like to see that people survival skills. It usually shows you the better overall player is. But these two are putting on the show right now for prime time.
Hey, Slip Uppercut does get the drop, though. Lovely job there by GSP. 3 minutes left on the clock. Both of them are knockdowns in retaliations and gets a stun there with Uzman's power. This is so aggressive, and he gets clean KO'd.
Beautiful work. The second round KO, Dave. Amazing work.
Yeah. I would have liked to see the kicks more from GSP, although they kind of butchered his kick animations. He still has them. He has the side kick, lead spinning side kick, and his roundhouses aren't. Although they have bad animations, they aren't bad to throw. I would have liked to see more of that.
Yeah, GSP on this game, if you utilize, I've played with the new Prime GSP, and he just feels a lot smoother than the old GSP version. I don't think that was kind of weird how they brought a legend GSP in the game, but didn't give him the same stats as the Prime GSP. Because he's a legend, they should kind of, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but they should give him that sort of the same attribute to a 5-star GSP would have been normal in my opinion. But he utilized him quite well. But Uzman, as you were saying, Doctor, the power is the key, and he has a lot of dexterity with his striking as well. It's not just the jab; he's got axe kicks, he's got a few different combinations, and also the ground and the clinches there as well.
Uzman was bobblehead, Stone Cold was GSP, just for clarification. And with that being said, although that seems to be the phrase every time I want to introduce another fight by the seams, we've got Chinsworth versus TFA Juggy up for the fight.
Chinsworth versus TFA Juggy at light heavyweight. This is going to be the interesting one. When you go light heavyweight, Dave, who do you usually pick? Who's your kind of main character that you like to pick at light heavyweight?
My pick is Jan Blachowicz. He feels smooth all around. He has decent kicks, and I really like that he can also wrestle. That's my main thing.
Yeah, good wrestling attributes as well as the striking is always important. But it looks like we've got Gustafsson versus a created character. I didn't get to see which one from AJ's Juggernaut, but his character is called Halt. But I'd like to see which kind of archetype he'd kind of picked for his character. Always very important, so we don't know what kicks he's going to be throwing or punches, etc. But we'll get to see as it goes on. But these could look similar in height, which is very important fighting a Gustafsson pick.
Indeed, fighting the Gustafsson, the main thing which you will be fighting within the heavyweight division, light heavyweight division for that matter, is that reach advantage, the ability to poke Gustafsson, one of his main attributes. On a side note to what you were saying about the calf picks, I'd imagine I'm expecting a kickboxing type pick, since that is typically of the TFA camp.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay then.
Right there. Dave choking on his drink, but nice calf kick right there, big push kick to the face from Gustafsson, and a Superman punch. But yeah, the calf kicks are a hard one to kind of to go across because. Sorry, the calf type's hard one to fight because sometimes they have some excellent combinations or excellent certain specific shots, Dave, that benefit them, and they're really hard to predict and make you very vulnerable when they land.
Yeah, and then they always have those annoying spinning side kicks. You go to one leg to sidestep it, and then they throw the other one, and that can be super frustrating.
On another note about the calves, just to cut you off there, humble apologies. Is it the fact that calves normally have very bad cardio? Like if you can work that body very early on, you're going to have a lot of success just working that body, making them gas out, and it gives you a lot easier round coming into that second and third round.
It's usually the health stats, right? It's usually some of the health stats are kind of a bit lower, even if they do have special kicks. We all know the Brock's line is, and he's got them crane kicks, etc. But the health stats, if you dodge one of them crane kicks, you can land a vicious left hook or an uppercut and kind of really hurt your opponent. But he's on top right now, and he's landed some big shots. Juggernaut showing his grappling skills right there, and he got a lot of success with the striking on the ground and pound, Dave.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, but he lets him up. He gets a little too reckless and lets him up. Something to take note is that I believe it's Gustafsson has a beat up leg. His leg health is at like half health.
But he has been kicking juggernauts with it, so that's going to be expected when you're like just exchanging the shots. Gustafsson applies a body kick in close range, a body kick digs down, and uppercut lands as well. Both of them are exchanging clean shots. Both of them staying fairly also defensive at the same time. So it's an interesting
Really like
fight.
from the feints from Juggernaut at the moment. Obviously, the uppercuts from both guys kind of bait on body shots. You got Gustafsson kind of throwing uppercuts right there, as he's seen. Halt going to the body with that right hook, and there's a pullback right there. But I do like the feints. That's a beautiful uppercut and a left hook to the body as well from AJ's Juggernaut.
I was actually mistaken. It's the calf with the beat up leg. His leg health is really low, and that could become a factor. Calves already don't have a lot of power.
Yeah, and that will immobilize him as well. The movement will suffer from that, and maybe a great strategy going on to the next couple of rounds, especially if you can make him switch stance, Doctor.
Yeah, making the calf switch stance can sometimes be massive. Just gives you other angles to fire from southpaw. That body kick comes a lot more exposed. That rear body kick can start landing very cleanly. Both of them coming into this next round. I'm expecting maybe to see a couple of leg kicks checked by Juggy. He's going to need to, otherwise that leg's going to end up very compromised. Chins, I feel like, has won that first round, and so if he continues the way he's going, and he's going to have success, as you saw there.
Yeah, nice combination right there. Lands a 3 or 4 piece combination, mainly on the guard, but that last one snuck through and caught him clean on the chin, Div.
Yeah. He shoots a takedown.
Nice work.
I like his approach. You're kind of losing the stand up. You got your leg beat up, and if you can get him down, 100% go for it.
Well, we did see the ground and pound success within the first round tumble, so as we saw, does get a reversal, but can Juggy make it back on the feet? It's a bit uncertain, Humble.
Yeah, story of the same type of consequences from the first round when he kind of overexerted himself with some of the ground and pound and then allowed his opponent to get a stand up. This time he gets reversed, but he does get the back, and this is a dangerous position right now. I do believe he can't go for the rear naked, if I'm right.
No, he can't go for the rear naked. It's banned.
No, so makes him a top. He has to go for top mount right there, or he lets his opponent roll to backside, and he's going to try and do some damage from here. And this is an important position right now, but loses all his stamina, and he's going to get reversed, Dave.
He's being way too reckless. He needs to play to win the rounds. He's not stopped throwing. He's either getting reversed, or he's just blowing all of his stamina and then getting reversed.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, he's getting over aggressive on the ground and pound. That is sometimes the main issue when you start wrestling. You've got to maintain a couple of short shots, posture back down, then posture back up. A couple more short shots. You want to make sure the aim and game within the wrestling game is to control your opponent and then do the damage afterwards. Chin's starting to piece him up massively, and this is what you kind of expect from a striker like Chinsworth.
Nice work, and he fires back. Juggernaut come back with the uppercuts right there. But that shot selection from Chinsworth right there with the left hook to the body, straight to the head, then the uppercut coming through. Deceiving and disguising each shot, but landing a counter again. He's got to be careful right now. The calf, the halt, is on the back end of some of these shots, and he could get dropped with one of these right now, Dave.
Yeah, I agree. There's a huge... Oh, he gets the takedown. But on the feet, there's a huge problem with that leg health, and he messes up and doesn't...
Okay, then.
Okay.
The weird and wonderful mechanics of this game, just having 2 takedowns and you don't throw one. Anyhow, Juggy now in side control position, gets into the sprawl. 50 seconds left on the clock. Chin's back up on your feet, already winning this second round. Juggy's going to need to do something big, and Chinsworth finally denies a takedown.
Yeah, I was going to say that if I don't know about Dave, but if I'm Juggernaut right now, I'm going to be going for takedowns every single second of the round, because he's denied one, and the one he denied was late. So turning takedowns, big power takedowns. I'm doing everything I can to try and get as many as I can in the next round.
Yeah, they shouldn't be that effective, because when you have a beat up leg, it becomes significantly harder to get takedown. But Gustafsson isn't really doing a good job of denying them, so I'd keep going for them until they don't work.
The issue is, though, I think we've seen it over the course of the last 2 rounds in both cases when it has got to the ground, is that he can get him to the ground, but he can't keep him on the ground. And that's kind of an issue when you're losing on the feet battle and you need to win the round. And in this case, coming into this third round, I think we can both agree, I think we can all agree here that he probably needs a finish as well. So if he's going to look to go for the takedown, he's going to need to do it. But he got knocked down very quickly there.
Yeah, Gustafsson comes out and throws a beautiful combination. Doesn't let his opponent think there. Really got in his face for his opponent. And then, as we always talk about in the MMA, well, went first, and there's a big shot right there against the fence. He's going to try and finish his opponent right now. He's got him in knee position, and he throws him in a side control. Beautiful judo throw right there, Dave.
Yeah, one of the factors that it's indirect, a lot of people don't think about it, with a beat up leg is the head movement. You can't really risk taking a leg kick while you're moving your head, and we saw a perfect example right there. He was backed up against the cage and was too scared to move his head.
Bates the side cross, goes to the top man, does get up instantly though. Chinsworth gets speared straight onto the feet, goes for a Kimura, and this is a scary thing.
Yeah, he's come for it now. He's going to get the chain as well, but it's kind of in the favour of Gustafsson at the moment, but he's going to have to do a better thing of tracking. He's a bit erratic at the moment, he's a bit all over the place, and it's going to allow Gustafsson to escape. He's going to get into side control as well, Dave.
Yeah, I think he should have tried to control the center more at that joint. That's usually what you want to do. You don't want them to be able to just slide right past your bar and not get a lot of progress. But he hung on, and he got the reversal as well.
Chin's trying to get payback for the sub attempt, looking for this arm triangle. He has now got it into the second stage. When full guard, if he can get it to the last stage, he can at least get a side control position. Doesn't, sadly, and with 2 minutes left on the clock, both of them have got to make up their mind what they're going to do. Going straight to side control now.
A great choice there from Chinsworth to go for the arm triangle, a very risk-free sort of submission. You can't really get reverse from it. You're going to get to a better position if you get past a certain amount of stages. So great work. And obviously now he's getting into mount. He's going to have a big opportunity to land some ground and pound, or even go for a submission himself right now.
Denies.
Good deny. Yep, as you said, he's going for the armbar. If he didn't deny that could have been fight over.
Kimura attempt here. He's still got this cardio stamina. This is a very difficult sub to get if you're not careful. And so far, I think Chims is definitely going to have an easy way of getting out of this, even if he does have good tracking in terms of Juggy. 50 seconds left on the clock. It seems more like a time waster, and Juggy needs to get off this bottom, or at least do something to get the win now with 40 seconds. Now it's just a waiting game, I feel like.
Yeah, he's going to have a very hard time getting up. As long as Gustafsson plays this right, he shouldn't be able to. He should be camping every get up, and with this little time, he's not going to be able to. Okay.
11 seconds left. He looks like he wants to finish. If that was me, I'd probably want to finish as well. There's kind of no real danger on the feet, and beautiful jab right there. Lunging strike to kind of push his opponent's head back. But bam, Gustafsson right there. Doctor, I don't know about yourself, but I kind of wanted to finish. I feel like I had my opponent in trouble, but I'm a bit annoyed with myself for not denying a lot of those takedowns.
Yeah, it definitely felt like the last round definitely tapered off to what the last 2 rounds were. Like, both of them were trying to play it safe. It feels like Juggy was trying to not get finished. Chinsworth just didn't want to have a random KO, possibly a flash of some sorts to finish him off. And so I think it was kind of the battle of, does he want to finish? Does he want to stay safe? It was just that constant battle between the two.
Shout out to Kryptonite King in the chat with a subscribe to Prime. Always appreciate everybody in the chat, everyone that comes through and watches Prime Time. Without you guys, we wouldn't be able to do this, and we do appreciate the subscription. It helps it out. It helps out the production massively, especially these guys in the back. They work effortlessly to keep this promotion running. And if you do want to join Prime Time, please join our Discord. PlayStation and Xbox players, we are looking for you guys. Come and join the ranks and see if you've got what it takes to be champion of Prime Time. That being said, Doctor, I believe the next fight,
it's your time to hop out of the booth, I feel like.
Yeah, I'm going to get going. I'm going to jump onto the console. It's all ready to go, so I'll be getting my fight up and running. Enjoy the fight, guys.
Stuck in the booth with me and the mighty Dirty Dave. I'm all getting all set up, and in the lightweight division, it's going to be an interesting fight. You've got multiple picks here, and it's always interesting to see who people will go.
Yeah, for the most part, lightweight is a striker's division. You have Khabib, but almost everyone isn't really comfortable with striking with Khabib. And we do get a Khabib.
We get a Khabib and Poirier in a very interesting fight. We've seen this IRL. Khabib did get the victory, but Poirier's a very hard man to put away within this game. He's got the health stats, he's got the grappling, he's got rubber guard, he's got leg kicks, he's got everything. Khabib, on the other hand, he's got the hands, he's got a couple of leg kicks, and he's got the takedowns, and of course the grappling. Shoots a takedown already. Ali looking to be on the back foot, goes for the takedown, a Gilly reversal. Standing Gilly is an interesting one, but I think we can call that fair purely for the fact that it was a Gilly counter.
Yeah, I don't know if that's fine with the rules, but I in my personal opinion, if you're countering off of a takedown, that should be
I mean,
perfectly
it's
fine.
pretty impressive anyhow, especially for the fact it was a Gilly counter. We've never seen that before, I think, in prime time. But he's already got a stun trade in the pocket. The uppercut's been the mainstay of Humble. Nearly gets uppercutted in the face when he digs down to the body, and he's happy to trade in the pocket with Khabib. Evidently, Khabib's been scared of shooting a takedown since he nearly got Gilly countered.
Yeah, it was pretty apparent. Khabib shot 2 takedowns right off the bat. He wants nothing to do with the striking, but he's kind of being forced to now.
Humble's just standing in this pocket. He wants to bang, and it's evident that he's the one winning this, and you can see why he wants to do it. Khabib trying to play this in and out game, but so far every time he's gone inwards, Poirier, who's just found a home for the shots, finally gets the takedown, and now this is where it starts to get interesting.
Yeah. Poirier clearly won the stamp exchanges the whole time. Khabib's head health is like a third gone, and Poirier just needs to prevent damage from happening, and if that happens, he probably wins this round still, even if they stay on the ground.
Does get the knight up top. You can imagine, though, that if you get a couple good back-sitting strikes, get the stun, you're going to have a bit more success. Even the top mat's pretty good. Does get into this back clinch now, and Humble's got to think about getting disengaged, and he does get the clinch. A trip now, starting to take center octagon. Lovely job there, just circling out away from the cage. If you're fighting Khabib, that's the one place you don't want to be.
Yeah, that was really smart. He used that trip just to get off the cage. You don't ever see people do that very often. That was brilliant.
Trades with Khabib, jumps down into his guard, looking for the ground and pound finish. Starting to play really aggressive. Notices he doesn't going to get it or isn't confident in the finish. Start establishing that jab now, put on his pressure again.
It was a smart decision. The last thing you want to do is get flipped into top mount or even back sitting. You just don't want him to get that dominant position. I really like what he's doing with the striking. He's just picking him apart, and even when he goes in the pocket, he knows he's gonna win. So he's just comfortable everywhere.
The one issue I could see prevailing coming out of this round if he doesn't get the finish is the stamina, because you can see Poirier's stamina starting to creep down a little bit faster than Khabib. But that's purely for the fact of the amount of strikes he's throwing. Gets clipped though. That is a massive shot. It's going to be a massive confidence boost in terms of Khabib.
Yeah, although Poirier is dominating this. Oh, that's terrible.
That is some really bad stuff to happen there. The body stun straight at the end. And with that being said, I think Humble takes it based on the knockdowns. But that body stun coming into the next round is going to be really interesting to see how the stamina recovers.
Yeah, I feel like that might even become the story of the fight. Will Poirier have the stamina to put this Khabib away?
Well, so far
or even just defend the takedowns?
Yeah, it's always the case, Khabib. I'd like to see him shoot a couple more takedowns. He did have some success when he did shoot them, and so far on the feet he's having a bit of issues, although he did succeed. Gets straighted down, then gets a knockdown. Humble now playing the aggressive in the clinch, gets the uppercut straight down the middle, looking for the finish. His gas tank's already on empty, throwing any shot he can. He runs in with a straight head kick, narrowly avoids, and both of them are winging shots at one another here.
Yeah, this favors Poirier. I feel like Khabib should really try to wrestle.
What, Poirier tried to wrestle?
What?
Did you mean Poirier or do you mean Khabib? I think we were talking about Khabib going for the takedown, but he could be right there with saying Poirier would also benefit from a takedown shot as well.
I mean, yeah, they both favor if they're on top. Poirier's already got the knockdown this round. And Khabib really needs to try and get some damage on Poirier. And I don't think he's going to be able to do it on the feet.
Well, Every time, though, it seems like Khabib's now got this footwork going. He's coming in and out of the pocket, and so that means Humble's having a bit of a hard time trying to land those three pieces apart when Khabib starts to properly engage in. Head kick fires off. Poirier's gas tank nearly reaching half. Khabib still 3/4 full, and as I think as we said at the beginning of the round, it's definitely the case of, are we going to see a gassed out Poirier first, or are we going to see a knocked out Khabib?
That's a tough question. I believe we're gonna actually see a gassed out Poirier. I don't know if he's gonna be able to put this Khabib away soon enough.
Yeah, this Khabib is definitely standing good chances there. Half stam on it, does get the stun, and now Humble playing the aggressive route, does miss his shot. Head kick defended. Now he avoids getting hooked in the face, slips the uppercut, and again they're just going back and forth with one another.
Yeah, even if this Poirier gasses out, it's gonna be really tough. Being down 2 rounds to get Poirier to do something that'll get him knocked out.
A minute 20 left on the clock. Seem to have a bit of issues there. Does shoot the takedown. Humble on his back front. Khabib's now starting to reach a similar standpoint to Poirier, but Poirier again is still a lot lower. It's kind of interesting because if you look at the health stats, it seems like Khabib's managed a good job. Reversal there. Lovely job getting that reversal. Now goes top mount. Maybe how to get the finish here instead of on the feet. Raining down some nice bombs, just looking to get any type of damage off he can do, Dave.
Yeah, but most of this is just control. You've won the round, just lay on him. You're going to get some of your stamina back for the third, and you just got to survive.
Well, it seems like we can see Poirier having a bit of an affected bottom game and top game here. Does lace up the Kimura. Only 10 seconds left, so it's evidently just staying calm, staying patient. It seems like he maybe actually have a good chance of getting the armbar or Kimura if he takes it down within the next round, but you're never sure how people want to play it since they know the sub defense is a bit shaky there.
Yeah, I feel like he could have gotten caught in that with more time. I don't know what this Khabib should do. You're losing on the feet. You can't wrestle. You're down 2 rounds. Maybe I think you just go for it all.
Flying
get knocked
knees.
Out or you lose.
Play like Khabib on the feet.
The flying double knee.
The flying double knee, the overhands of doom, just anything to make it way past the block of Poirier, just to put on this pressure. Knees to the body, those work. Major lunges out the way. Hey, kickside, and both of them. You just want to make Poirier's engaging as risky as possible here. That's still kind of the mainstay. You're having difficulty fighting him, so just throw every big shot you can. But Poirier again gets the knockdown. This is already in the favor, and you only got. That's what you want to do.
Oh, yep. Something to note is that the stamina now is like equal. Khabib doesn't even have that stamina advantage anymore.
Well, they have been throwing shots over and over again. Poirier's been, not Poirier, Khabib's been trying to cut a few takedowns, a lot of head kicks. We saw there an overhand as well. So in terms of actual, the stam usage, he's also been using quite a lot himself, although Poirier's definitely made use of where he's gassed out a lot more. And Khabib's dead.
What a knockout.
A head kick followed straight into the head of Khabib, knocking himself off the cage, and not a nice way to go out into the consciousness.
Yeah, it was beautifully set up. You touch him, break that block, throw the head kick. Khabib blocked low anyways. It didn't even matter that the block was gone.
Yeah, he evidently was expecting a body kick, which I think Humble may have been setting up for. And both of them did a fantastic job there. Although Humble did look like a better fighter all around, he had the striking advantage. He started out really strong. Khabib had a bit of success, but he just couldn't keep the momentum going in his favour.
Welcome back. Hello, boys.
Evening, Humble Dean. How was your fight?
I enjoyed that one. It was good. I started off the fight trying to throw a lot down the middle, just to stop him from I knew he's Khabib, so you know he's gonna go for the takedown side. Tried to give him a lot to meet him, just in case he did, because I knew it would have been significant. But I ended up over throwing in the first round. At the end of that first round, I felt like I was dominating, and all of a sudden I got dropped, I think it was, and then my stamina I got hit with the body shot as well, which is what you don't want to happen. It's one of the worst things that you can happen when you control a fight. But I was struggling at the end. I noticed he started getting towards the cage in the third round. I noticed he was using lunges a lot, so I started feinting a bit more, and I'd set up the head kick. I'm known for my head kick, so a left up to the body straight head kick I thought was a nice little combination there to kind of see if he was going to lunge again. I thought he was actually going to lunge into the kick, but he didn't. He dropped his guard.
Lovely Gilly counter, by the way. It made me start to question
Didn't mean to do it.
That's even better. Don't mean do it, and you still managed to put it off. Anyhow, with that weird plot progression gone, and Humble admitting that one of the probably only Gilly counters of MPT was an accident, we have Broomstick versus the ever mighty Mystic Mac, notorious for his 1-2 and just the deadliness of it all.
Yeah, Mystic Mac as well, ranked number 9 in the Xbox division at 2-1. Broomstick ranks number 12, so at 2-1. So this is going to be a ranked match that are going to push either one into the top 10 and very high up in the top 10 as well. So an excellent match at welterweight division right now, Dev.
Yeah, I like this. I always love the wrestler versus wrestler matchups. You ever know how it's gonna go? Maybe they both want to stand because they don't want to get flipped, but both these guys are actually strikers, so I find these picks very interesting.
Yeah, to be fair, he's very. I mean, I was trying to work out what you meant by Kobe being a striker, but you're talking about the actual players themselves. Broomstick, Mystic Mac, typically known for that 1-2 and just how used, but he does use Ortega and featherweight, so he's definitely used to using these types of picks.
Yeah, I always like this sort of matchup as well, just because you get to see someone's true striking ability when they're using a grappler rather than a striker. How well they can actually adapt and use the characters that they've got. And so far, both guys stood in that center of the octagon, moving around it really nicely. The footwork, the footies from both guys has been really nice, and his success going backwards and forwards, Dave.
Yeah, they're both trying to control the center, which is, I feel like, who's going to get the advantage is who can control the center. And I'd really like to see at least one of them start taking advantage of the leg kicks.
Well, again, the broomstick, the center of the octagon is one of the major players. If you can control it, you're going to have a lot of success. Broomstick now starting to feel a bit more with himself, does get the stun, 1-2 straight, and a head kick following, slip straight down the middle, uppercut to follow, and both of them are very aggressive with 2 minutes 30 left on the clock in the first round.
It's like Dev was saying, that center of the octagon is key in this fight, and so far you can see Broomstick kind of taking over. But a nice job right now for Mystic Mac to go for the takedown, even if I was going to say if he bailed on it right there and kind of give it up because it didn't seem like he was getting it. Even if he did that, he kind of pushed him back across the cage and stopped that pressure.
Yeah, I agree. As long as now he's got the center of the octagon, so it kind of worked out in his favor, even though he got flipped.
Backs up right there.
That 1-2 straight down the middle. Mystic Max and Taurus, as we said, that 1-2 uppercut cleanly clips him. Jab straight again. Uppercut follows in retaliation. A minute 20 left. A head kick follows. Narrowly avoids doing any damage, slipping off to the center line. And so far, I feel like Broomstick's got a lot of control, but Mac can take it back any second if he decides that the 1-2s and he starts building off of them a bit better.
He seems to do really well with the straight shot at the moment. The jab and the straight are kind of keeping Covenant going back. Mystic Mac's not able to effectively move his head off the center line and time that jab straight. So he's ended up giving up the center of the octagon. But when he does win that center of the octagon, he does do some damage himself. That's what he's doing right there. Beautiful head kick.
That 1-2 again, that 1-2 head kick again, and goes for a takedown, doesn't get it. So far, Broomstick seems to have the best takedown defense I think we've seen all night, to be fair. And again, stun at the end. I think that was a stun, may have been wrong, and both of them have a fairly compact fight. Seems like Broomstick got the more significant strikes off, the more strikes, the better strike percentage. However, Mac did get the knockdown, probably giving him the round, Dave.
I agree. One thing I'm noticing as a problem is Colby does not have the power to really do much of this GSP. The exchanges he's winning, he's not even doing a lot of great counter.
Should have probably gone to the body there. Did whiff, so getting the body kick off. Does land a head kick though, and Broomstick's got to be wary of this stamina. He's fighting on very low stamina, so one clip could easily get him down.
And the difference we've got right now is you've got Broomstick that even when he loses his stamina, even when he's kind of hurt, he'll keep going forward. He'll stick in Mystic Mac's face, and he'll try and counter just like that. As he gets a knockdown right now, he's going to get a chance to finish.
Well, it's also
big shot coming through. And it's over. The second round. Broomstick gets the knockout. Mystic Mac with the ground and pound. Great work from Broomstick right there. Doctor, I'll let you go since you were talking.
Well, what I was going to mention before Broomstick got a very lovely knockdown there was the fact that Broomstick kept coming in and out of that pocket. You saw him, even when he's hurt, he was backing in and out, controlling that distance while Mac was against the cage, so he couldn't, and that was kind of what Broomstick's entire fight plan was throughout that fight, is that Mac may be known for that jab straight, which establishes that distance, but if Broomstick's the one controlling it, that jab straight ain't going to do much.
I completely agree. Broomstick just completely took advantage of the range. He went in, landed his combos, even ducked head kick, got a counter, and then he laid that beautiful counter combo at the end with the pull upper. Wait, it was a slip straight, and then he uppercutted on a duck.
It was nice work right there, and a great win, a great fight to finish off our featured prelim as we move on to the main card. Brilliant win for Mystic. That's going to push him, Broomstick, sorry, he's going to push him right up the rankings as well, right into that top 10 echelon. So the next fight on the main card, Doctor?
Indeed, next fight up on tonight's stat card is Swish Bitty versus the ever mighty, the Pudgy.
Great fights as well. Pudgy, Dave, I love watching Pudgy fight. I absolutely love his stream. A great streamer amongst the community. He's always talking about the beans. But tonight for BSD, he could potentially take it 4-0, I believe. I think we've had 3 BSD fights so far and 3 BSD wins, if I'm correct.
We've had Entran take the win for BSD. We've had Big E.
Broomstick as well. So it's 3-0. This Pudgy could make it 4-0, Dave. How do you feel about Pudgy versus Swiss Bitty?
I haven't played Pudgy in quite a while, but when we did play, he would give me some really good fights. I remember we had some wars. I believe we've played in comp as well, if I'm not mistaken, but it's so long ago I can't remember.
Anyhow, we're in the middleweight division. Pudgy as the mighty cannoneer, the man who can kick your legs, box your head off, and in the blue corner as Anderson, the 5-star Spider Silver, is Swish Bitty.
Prime Anderson Silva here, the first time when you get to see him in prime time, I believe, fighting Cannoneer. We all know what happened in this fight when it actually happened. Anderson Silva obviously injured his leg off a kick after coming back from the rehabilitation from the Chris Weidman fight. But Jared Cannoneer, I believe, has got 98 power in the middleweight division, and he's recently been buffed. One of my favourite characters to pick, Dave. I don't know about yourself, but he's a dangerous man.
Silva's my favorite pick. It's so fun to use that 97-foot 100 head movement. You feel like you can't even be touched. And this is a great matchup with the Cannoneer power. It's a good defense versus offense, and which one will win.
This is the push kick right there, and then as the Silva fires back. Controlling the center of the octagon, as we talked about earlier on, this one is kind of a different style though, because it feels like Swish Bitty kind of wants to be on the outside. He wants to be the counter striker, whereas the last fight we've seen both guys were trying to get off on fire. So this one's not really a battle of the center of the octagon, but a battle of the movement at the moment, Doctor.
Well, again, Pudgy's putting on this pressure. Silver's meeting that with the straights, with just the stopping shots, the powerful shots. His digs is coming up top with a straight, digging down to the body, leg kicks as well. You see that main combo there. The body hook has been a major stay, and he's just so slick. As you can see, Pudgy's having so difficult time just getting any shots really going because of just Silver's momentum here.
Yeah, I wasn't liking that. Silva wasn't really moving his head, and then in those last sequences, he finally started, and it did wonders for him. I'd like to see him do more of that, but early in the fight, he was just letting his block get punched.
Cannoneer trying to break the legs of Silva here. We saw just a bit, but now they're back to this boxing fiasco, and I feel like if Cannoneer continues on, he's not going to win the boxing, per se. He needs to kind of mix it up, especially against someone like the Spider Silva.
Yeah, if you can catch him kind of ducking and using that head movement, you can also go to the body, them kicks, and they'll be devastating. But at the moment, I'm really liking what Swish Bitty's doing with the boxing, especially when he started moving the head, as Dave said. He had some major success and landed some beautiful combinations. If he can do that again, maybe he can hurt kind of near enough, but he's got to stop letting him walk him down.
Nearly gets death kicked and lovely knockdown there by Silva. Does have the body knees, so he's got 5-star body knees, and they're going to hit like a truck if they land cleanly. Body kick there does land, and Spider Silva goes for the head kick, and both of them saying it's still fairly competitive, although it's evident that Silva currently is the more technical and more effective striker in this matchup.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, but he gets caught.
This could be it.
He goes for a clinch. That's very smart.
Great fight IQ going for that clinch right there. Now he's kind of chose to break away again. He's got his opponent against the fence at the end of the round, and that's a lovely combination. What a great first round, boys.
823 significant strikes in favour of Silva. Candia's throwing 100 shots and only landed 8 significance. It's gonna be confidence killing in some cases, but with Pudgy being here, I imagine he's going to continue coming forward and look to try and make some changes. Has some decent recovery rounds in between rounds, Dave, and I'm not sure what Pudgy needs to do to actually start becoming the better fighter here.
It's very difficult trying to get in on range on this Silva. I'd like to see some leg kicks. The head movement's giving you problem. You kick the legs. Maybe you time one perfectly, get a rock. Regardless, you're going to take away some power and mobility.
Also, yeah, you're going to make them worried about actually constantly moving the heads if you're going to kick that leg, so it's a great idea to do that. I think he is actually adapting that game plan. Got to be careful not to whiff a lot, though, because Anderson Silva can punish you badly if he gets out there with one of them shots, though.
Yeah, well, Silva's also got the footwork, so he can just come in and out, in and out. We were talking about the head movement, but he's also got that brilliant footwork, which means he can just step out of range when needed. Pudgy now starting to work behind that block a bit and just clipping him a bit, but so far it's I wouldn't say it's a little too late, but he needs to start making it more consistent and make Silva's chin go. He's got a 96 chin to break. It's going to be a difficult chin to break.
Outlay of the Silva, he's going on sprees where he doesn't move his head at all, and then he goes like 10 seconds where he just moves his head and goes for a whole lot of count like that.
Yeah,
he needs to just mix it all in at once and go back to going to the body. That was some great work he did.
There you go. That's what you want. You want that straight, but instead that chin, that man now been broken. Pudgy is fantastic at breaking the chin and capitalising on it in top mount, and this is going to be very difficult for Pudgy. Pudgy in top mount again, rain down shots, and Silva's got to play really defensive. Lovely slip there, though.
Great work from Pudgy right then. I was really liking the consistency with the combinations he was landing on the guard to the head. He really took that head health down of Silva and caught him trying to slip, like Dave said, moving. I like to call it the bobblehead, but he was moving the head a bit too much at one point, and Pudgy recognised that and caught him with a beautiful hook. But he's got to be careful. He doesn't want to stay on his back for too long. There is 1 minute 30 seconds of the round left. He gets back to his feet and manages to keep that pressure on that head. Swish Bitty might not be able to recover in rounds.
Well, now we're down on the ground. The pace is really slow, and Silva, Swish Bitty kind of staying very much patient. Pudgy looking to marry and playing full guard. He knows he's won it. He's got a knockdown. He's got a couple of stuns in the back. So this is one round to him. He doesn't need to do anything more active. He can just stay calm, make sure he doesn't get too hurt, and then look in about 40 seconds to reset, and then start coming out aggressive in the third round to look for the finish, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I agree. He can just chill out here, and what I would actually try to get up, because I don't want Silva to recover. His head health is really low, and although it'll still be pretty low going into the third, all you gotta land is like one hook, and he's rocked right now.
You are right. As I said, one of the big difference when someone goes back to the corner, gets all of that treatment, gets the advice they need. We've seen it before. We've seen comebacks many of times in prime time in other organizations and in real life as well. So Silva's got a chance right now to kind of regroup. That first round was super close. The second round now, he's gonna have to stop getting hit in the head, and if he doesn't, it might be night for Silva, Doctor.
Yeah, well, I think so far actually Candy's got the better head health. He had a very good first round. Lovely takedown there. I think this is what we're going to see from Silva. If he wants to win, he's got to now play the grappling game. Silva's got some good grappling. It's not the best, but against a cannoneer, it's enough to be stable. It's enough to stay straight. Takes the back now, and he could always go for a backflip rear naked choke if he got it instead. But he gets into this, backs it in, gets reversed into the backside, and now it's going to be an interesting case. See how much damage you can get off Dave.
Yeah, I'm liking the wrestling decision. He does not have the head health to be able to strike. He knows that one good shot from Cannoneer possibly even puts him down. So just wrestle, try to get some damage, and win that way.
Just get him back to his feet right now. Man of my own heart likes to stand up a lot. Probably gets a bit frustrated when he gets taken down, and he's got to be careful because if he overexerts himself, Silva is dangerous, especially with that stamina going so low right there.
He got caught on that bobble again. He threw the Cannoneer just threw the hook, stunned him, and then hit him with a straight, which went through the block.
Beautiful uppercut right there coming up from Cannoneer. He's still got his opponent back against the fence, and that's going to help him right now. But he gets pulled back.
Oh!
Beautiful work from Swish Billy. Swish Billy chasing around. Left hook. Can he get the ground and pound offense right now? No, can he gets back to his feet, Doctor?
Well, it's interesting to know that Silva's entire head health is blinking non-stop now. He did get the stun, but Cannoneer can engage trade and probably accidentally knock out Silva by one shot, I'd imagine. So both of them have got to be careful in what shots they throw. Their shot selection is key here. This is the round to spare. I'm not particularly sure who's winning since it has such a hectic round. So it's either way, and it's so close to the margin now.
Yeah, PUBG as well, his head health isn't the best if you look at his head. Oh, he drops him right there.
Oh.
He's going to get a chance right now to do some damage. Nice count right there.
Yeah, he's just looking to put on the pressure. Knows all Silva has to do is make one mistake right here, and he's getting rocked. I like this decision.
Beautiful cut to the body right there. Goes back to the head. Silva's just, I like.
Oh,
front kick to the face. I like that. That's what I like, Doctor.
It is what you like indeed. 30 seconds left on the clock. I think Cannoneer maybe winning the last round after the first round as well. That's already good to see. Does get the knockdown again. Noah Silva trying to play the comeback. 1, 2. Axe kick coming down straight, narrowly on the block. 10 seconds left, and this is so close to the margin.
Oh,
Oh, what an ending.
Wow. What a crazy fight, Dave. What an absolute war this has been.
Yeah, it was a crazy fight. They went back and forth the whole time. Silva tried to wrestle, didn't really work. He only held him down for a little bit, but
it's over. Oh, I thought it was round 2.
No, it's round 3. That would have been a fun 5-round fight, to be fair.
I could have watched 2 more rounds. That was fantastic.
That was really good. It was a very much back and forth fight. Neither opponent wanted to get finished.
Let's see who's going to win. It looks like Anselmo's hand raised. He's the more confident fighter. But Pudgy McPappy gets
by split decision. Lovely job there by Pudgy. Getting the victory. That was a very close round in third, and nobody particularly sure who was going to win that.
Yeah, that was a crazy one. What a fight to start off the main card of this evening. Huge fight for us there, Dave. I don't know what you thought of that one.
That was an absolute war. It was beautiful between the offensive Cannoneer and the defensive Silva. I think the Silva should have used that head movement more. He did great when he went to the body, but he kind of let go of that, and that was what made him lose.
Yeah, it seems like the counter hook from Cannoneer there. As soon as Pudgy McPappy kind of downloaded that information, I believe he got caught with like a 6 to 7 piece combination. It's like a 3 and a 4 back to back, but it was beautiful from Silva to kind of land. And as soon as that kind of landed, Pudgy McPappy's game plan kind of changed, and then he became a problem all fight because he was able to push Silva back towards that fence and land some major damage. And avoid some of the wrestling as well, Doctor. Silva did a good job of wrestling him for most of that fight when his head was firm.
Indeed, Silver did a fantastic job, and now we enter the middleweight division again, and I think we've got the Bisping 5-star as well as the Anderson 5-star again, so we've got a double showing of Anderson, the Spider Silver, coming out on PT tonight.
Yeah, a rematch right here. Obviously, these two fought each other in London, and an amazing fight where Bisping ends up beating Anderson Silva, and you know that a very controversial win because he did get dropped, but it was a fantastic fight to watch. And let's see if these two can replicate that, Dev.
Yeah, I look forward to this. This is a great matchup. It's basically the same as the Cannoneer one, except Bisping has slightly less power. But I'd love to see how this goes.
5-star striking as well on both parts because both guys have it, but maybe the stamina might be favouring Michael Bisping. But you've got to think, Doctor, that it's got to be volume for Michael Bisping over the counters from Anderson Silva.
Well, Bisping's main part here is he's got the cardio. He doesn't have the power, but he has the cardio, and then that's exactly what you want to do. You want to be rushing forward, winging many shots you can, clipping him. Because of the aim of the game when you're Spider Silver is to use head movement, use the footwork, just come in and out of that pocket, start clipping. We saw Swish Bitty do that. That was his mainstay, and he worked it really well. Although he did get clipped in the second, and that was the issue. Because as soon as Spider gets clipped and very cleanly, that 96 chin is no longer a 96 chin.
Yeah, I agree. He's got to be very careful. Although he has all that defense, all it takes is getting knocked down once, and the 100 head movement, 97 footwork really doesn't mean that much after that.
Yeah, I'm liking the Bisping effect at the moment. He's going forward, throwing combination in bunches. And Anderson Silva, I haven't really seen too much head movement yet. I haven't seen too many counters coming from Taco Boy. But Ricardo seems to be having his way right now in his game plan. It's kind of paying off as we see right there, Doctor.
Indeed, Ricardo's putting on this pressure, does get hit by that straight. That straight is a very useful tool when you're Anderson Silva. Front kick missed and the block overcommitted. Ducking down and just preemptively, the hook lands there. Both of them trading inside the pocket. Another front kick in retaliation. I'm not particularly sure who's kind of leading the fight here.
I would give it to Bisping. He's landing better shots, and he's also working the body as well. Silva isn't really working Bisping's body, and I feel like that'll become a factor.
I've got to agree with Dave as well. I'm at the moment, I'm liking the way Bisping's kind of fighting. A lot to do with Tackle Boy's movement. If you do look at his feet, he's constantly moving into Bisping's power, allowing them shots to kind of come rather than edging off to the outside. It's really important as when you fight a southpaw or fighting in southpaw that you use that movement to your advantage.
That body kick of Bisping's been like one of the main shots that Ricardo's landed. It's always there, it's always open, and he's just digging to it every time Tackle Boy steps out of the pocket. Starting trading in that pocket. Head kick clips him, and Ricardo got knocked down cleanly.
Yeah, that was a good head kick. I feel like Bisping could have avoided that. He got a little careless, but if he just regroups himself, he's winning most of these exchanges. He just needs to be more careful. Oh, and a body rock.
And gets the lead uppercut into that body rock, and both of them trading knocked down. I feel like that may lead towards Bisping with a sudden drop at the end.
Great first round from both guys as well. I do believe that Ricardo is in charge of this fight as with Bisping. He's kind of dominating the situations, especially the fight in the pocket. But Anderson Silva needs to throw a lot from that lead hand at the moment. The lead hand is the closest hand towards Bisping. He needs to be able to counter with that. He needs to offset the rhythm of Bisping at the moment because Ricardo is in a rhythm, all right, and he's doing a fantastic job of hurting Anderson Silva every time.
Yeah. Oh, that was a nice lead uppercut counter. You only see like the top level players go for that lead uppercut slip. It's always a beautiful thing to see when it happens.
Question mark kick fires in retaliation. Interesting to see. Dodges the uppercut. Silva trying to establish that jab a bit more, put on this pressure. Bisping happy to walk forward and then come back. Playing the footsies game seems to be Ricardo's main fight here.
Ricardo's got to be careful because he's headhunting a lot right now. He did a lot of damage to the body in the first round. He's starting to go back with the kicks, but I believe he's got to do some with the hands as well. Maybe throw some jabs in there to the body. Just offset the rhythm of Tackle Boy because Tackle Boy's landed a few bits right now, but I don't think Ricardo's too worried, Dave.
Yeah, I would have to agree. And that stamina is going to become a factor.
Big left hook
Oh,
right there.
Trading on heat here, misses the overhand. That's massive. Doesn't get the body count as much as you probably would expect. 2 minutes sort of left on the clock. So far, Ricardo's kind of again controlled the pace. His body is still fairly intact, so I don't see him gassing out. Silva, on the other hand, is definitely reaching that point where you could say he's gassing very quickly. Ducks into the uppercut though, and Gemini just so aggressive here.
I'd like to see Ricardo throw a lot more ones than rather the combination punches right now. He's Tackle Boy's now doing a good strategy of kind of pressing Ricardo back. He's stopped walking backwards. He's started to try and take the center of the octagon. He's trying to land his punch. He's trying to be in range where he's landing his punch, and he's kind of landed, but he's wasting a lot of stamina doing it. I'd just like to see Ricardo pick him off as he's coming forward with the ones and twos rather than the combinations, Dave.
I like what Ricardo's doing here. He knows he has a huge stamina advantage. He's making Taco Boy throw first, and then he throws after. I think that's really beautiful to try and play defensive and counter a Silva.
It'd be nice to, like, that's a couple more times now he's dug that overhand. It'd be nice to see him counter a punch. They're normally quicker, they're more effective, especially like a body hook. You can probably get a body stun assaults, nearly flying knees, instead just steps back and gets a clean straight. 40 seconds left on the clock. Silver's so hurt, so gassed that Bisping can start tallying off on him if he really wanted to now.
Oh, nice work right there to the body. Hits him with the uppercut. Goes again. You've seen it earlier on in the first round. Beautiful slip to the body, slip to the right hook, and then he goes back to the body again. He's going to get a chance to do some damage right now, but let him up, Dave.
I think he should have. Oh, I stand corrected.
Spinning back fist to the face, and Silver just ends up on his knees out cold.
FSK Ricardo shown he is a force to be reckoned with going forward in prime time. Remember that man's name, because he just got a highlight reel knockout with a spinning back fist right there with Michael Bisping against a tough Anderson Silva, but a great strategy in my opinion, Doctor, from start to finish from Ricardo.
It was a great strategy. He played the bodywork game and went very well for him because of Bisping's cardio. You have to throw so many shots, so much consistently that as long as you land only a couple body shots, maybe once or twice a minute, you'll still have that effective cardio. And now for the featured prelim of the night, AJ Walker versus Mr. KM Caliber.
Wow, this is going to be a fantastic fight. Obviously, KM Caliber, you don't have to say too much about that guy. He's always been a top contender in prime time. And AJ Walker, you know, the AJ's camp is I think it's kind of broke up right now. Am I right? I heard a rumor that might broke up.
So AJS is split. So you got TFA, which is part which you have which have a lot of the AJS members, but AJS is still about, so I'm not particularly sure who runs what's camp, but AJS Walker is part of the AJS. I believe KM Caliber is well part of the notorious KM camp, to say the least. A part of the EK, and Mr. Humble here is part of the KIA, so you've got a very much mixture of camps within Primetime as a whole. But looking on this fight, you got Caliber, a well-versed wrestler, a well-versed striker, going Michael Chiesa, AJS Walker going Mr. Gilbert Burns.
These are very interesting picks. I actually don't know much about Michael Chiesa. No one ever picks him. So
he's a really good
taken him to
grappler. He's so underrated. He's a fantastic grappler, I find. He's actually got some really nice striking as well, in my opinion. He's got a lovely 1-2 straight, and he's very long as well, so that gives him the advantage, especially someone like against Gilbert Burns here. Which is interesting to note, both of these were lightweights, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he's a huge character as well. Is that Chiesa right there. But Burns, he puts him on his back, and obviously not scared of the grappling at the moment as he gets in a crucifix, Dave.
Yeah, Caliber knows he's a grappler. Even if you're going against the Burns, who has massive BJJ, you don't have to be scared. If you think you're the better wrestler, just go for it.
Caliber now in the position where he's had a bit of luck in the side control. Now in the full guard of Burns, he's got to be wary. The rubber guard does get out of it very quickly. 3 minutes left on the clock. This is still a lot of time to work, and so far Caliber seems to have the most success here. He hasn't really been trained with any type of reversals, any type of threats, and now looking around, his ground and pound does go very slow in the shot selection, and that's kind of what you expect from a very high tier wrestler such as Caliber.
Beautiful composure right now and beautiful shot selection. His fight IQ is really shining through in this this first round. He's doing a fantastic job with Chiesa. So be interested if he can keep this up all the way through. But AJ's Walker needs to mix it up right now. Needs to do something different. Or is Chiesa just going to continue to out-grapple him out? It's the technical side of it. He's a step ahead every single time, Dave. I don't know if you agree with me, but that's what I see right now.
I do agree. Caliber just looks way more experienced. He's controlling him. He's not getting over aggressive with the damage, and he's just playing for position.
The GA building as well, you can see he did get some. Now Burns does get it in his favour, gets to full guard. We're kind of playing this game between full guard, half guard, who can maintain what, and I feel like that Walker needs to at least build some GA. He doesn't know and gets to half rubber guard, straight into stat guard here, and Caliber's now just going to rain down some heavy shots. Does get out of it, gets to get up, and now we're a minute left on the clock. Burns is probably going to put on this pressure just to do at least some damage.
Ooh. Big overhand right there, lead hook, that overhand coming. He didn't really follow up with much. And Chiesa doing a really good job of neutralising Burns' forward box and pressure right now. I do believe Burns has got to utilise the takedowns, he's got to utilise the grappling, but AJ's Walker might be a bit afraid after what he's just experienced with Caliber's grappling, because it was very technical, very nice grappling right there.
That's what I was going to mention. You want to wrestle, you picked Burns clearly to wrestle, because most people just aren't comfortable with Burns striking. He feels awkward.
Ooh.
But you just got out-wrestled. You got held down for, I'd say, 3.5 minutes. Where do you go from there?
And you got dropped with a body shot there. Nearly gets finished. Caliber going for the armbar at the end with a very slick move, and that was for certainly Caliber's round.
I think I could argue Burns. No, I'm joking. It was a great round.
You never know with the judges. You never know.
Wins the third,
I mean, after 269, you seriously don't know with the judges.
So here we go again. Nice takedown. It goes to the turn takedown. Great denial from AJ's Walker, as he's now got a good position against that fence, but walks him away from that fence right there. He needs to keep Chiesa backed up, but Caliber doing a great job of circling off right there. The footwork from Caliber, Dave, has been phenomenal so far in this fight.
Yeah, I agree. I think Caliber was feeling himself a little bit there, just shooting a naked takedown. He's probably going to go to set up his next one if he does choose to go back to the ground. I think he's got a little careless right there.
Yeah, you're completely correct. He did do a naked takedown, and he gets punished for it. But look at this. He's going again. Flawless performance, mixing up his grappling with his striking, rocks his opponent, then takes him down with a beautiful trip into half guard, Doctor.
Well, that's kind of what you want. He does go for the naked stat guard, does get put into rubber again, or maybe see a stat guard instead, goes for that, does get the fake on it, commits to it finally, and now we're back into his full guard position. Burns got very aggressive full guard, but so far Burns is kind of just keeping a closed guard and keeping it very safe and boring, to be fair.
Yeah, I agree. But he's not winning the fight by just not taking damage. He's got to find a way to get damage on Caliber, or at least get Caliber off of him so he has an opportunity to get damage.
Yeah, he's getting fully neutralized right now. Caliber is showing his caliber in the primetime octagon so far with a character such as Chiesa. Great performance going forward, avoids the leg lock right there, the knee bar. Now tries to get to the back, and he gets it. This is going to be a dangerous position right now for AJ's Walker.
Takes a lot of shots there. Jab straight, just straight.
The Caliber special.
It really is the Caliber special. Straight spamming the ground and pound. It's just, you don't expect it to be as effective as it is.
Very effective it is, as he knocks his opponent out right there. I believe that was the third round, correct?
Second?
I think it was a second.
I think it was a second. And today we learned humble can't count. We thought we were in the second round to win the Swish Bitty fight, was expecting the third and win the Caliber round. He somehow came up with a round. Always good to see.
Been a long day. It's fine.
enough. And now we are on to the main card of Primetime MMA Fight Night 25. It has been a hectic card start to finish so far, and it's only bound to get better with the likes of Great Mist and Lepo starting us off with an absolute banger you can only imagine.
Yeah, Lepo coming in at number 5 with a 4-2 record, and Great Mist unranked in the Xbox division, but they're going to be fighting at lightweight right now. Lots of choices they can pick from here, but both guys fantastic competitors. Dave, I don't know if you've got any experience with these two, but every time I've watched these two, it's always been bangers.
Yes, both of these guys are my former teammates with ICB. Lepo and Mist kind of have the same style, kind of. They're both kind of brawlers. Mist is a little more technical. He's obviously known for his over excessive use of the slip hooks.
I would say the opposite. I would say Lepo's a bit more technical because at least Lepo has the ability to go, okay, I'm going to step off. I've secured the round. Mist, on the other hand, just wants to knock your head off.
That's a fair assessment. On the last card that I commentated on, Great Mist fought Tadpole, and after that card I said that Great Mist looks great, and he has a chance to get into like the title picture if he puts on performance like that.
Well, again, he started off a head kick. We've seen Great Mist against Sachimo as well. That was a really fun fight you saw because Sach just... It was a war between those two, and this is only bound to be a war as well. Lepo is known for, as you said, he's brawly type play style, so it plays in the favour of Mist, but that's not to say that he necessarily will give Mist a win or guarantees it, although you definitely say that Mist may be the betting favourite in this fight.
Yeah, we've seen Lepo right there going for a few different leg kicks, and it looked like he landed one, but then I seen his leg health drop, which means just in case he got a check, and then he retired one of his own. And the leg kicking is in the foot position of that main foot at the moment. It's the battle that I'm seeing right now, Dave. I don't know about yourself.
Yeah, I agree. His leg health's already getting a little low. You'd have to assume that at this pace, that leg is going to become a problem, probably before even the end of the first.
He's going to have to do something to neutralize that because, as you said, it is slowly dwindling and he can't take too many of them. Now, just in case, he does have great leg kicking stats, but he does actually have great leg health. So if you can check one or two of them, it's going to be a problem for him as well. Maybe deter him from kicking, but he's using that head movement, Lepo, and getting caught coming in.
Well, Lepo's right leg is already blinking. Lepo's got to be so careful that you can see he's holding down left block. Finally switches his stance, and now Mist is slowly walking forward, looking to start setting the combos up. Trades him, nearly gets uppercutted in the face, body kick as he backs out, and both of them are back and forth. Lepo gets dropped, Mist jumps on top of him, and this could all be for bad play in favour of Lepo.
Nice leg check there.
Yeah, he switched stance, but I feel like he should have switched stance sooner. Dustin Poirier has a good switch stance stat, and he should have switched before his power got really taken away. And now, even if he wants to wrestle, it's going to be very hard to get him down with that leg.
Nice deception right there. Came in with the right hand and caught him. He's starting to get some success with his feet, with his hands. But is it too late? Because those legs are starting to get chopped down by Justin Gaethje. He needs to punish him when he's going for one of them. You need to intercept those leg kicks.
Well, the thing is, when you say punish them, but Mist, he's doing it so well timed. He's just clipping it so well. It's either as Lepo's coming to engage or as he's backing off, and so he's not really focused. He's more focused on not getting clipped. Does get another leg kick check there, and 40 seconds left on the clock. So far, it seems to be the Mist fight so far.
Yes, I agree 100%. And the problem for the rest of the fight will be leg kick or head kick. Mist is definitely going to take advantage of that, and Lepo's going to have a real hard time.
That is, to be fair, one of Mist's main things. Like we always talk about the pressure of Mist. We always talk about the boxing of Mist. But one of his greatest things is kicking your leg out, thinking you go for a leg kick, and then just getting head kicked in the face.
And you can see them checking the stats right there, and it looks like Great Mist definitely took that round. Lepo is going to go back to the corner, put some ice on that leg, and his corner are going to give him instructions. Dave, what would you like to see from Lepo in this round?
It's going to be very tough regardless. It's going to be the defense. He's got to check leg kicks. It's going to be very difficult. And if he can bait out the head kick and duck it, then he's got a real good chance. But it's not looking good.
The head movement as well is also going to be an iffy part. If he wants to use any head movement, he may risk getting uppercutted, head kicked, or that sake for his leg may be broken from it. Straight down the middle, both miss now, starting to come a bit more into trading. Does miss the leg kick, head kick again, and nearly gets uppercutted. Rolling Thunder,
Rolling Thunder.
Really confident in himself.
Trying to set up that Rolling Thunder right there, obviously trying to get a duck from the head kick, and maybe expecting a reaction of a duck right there, but he did a fantastic job of going for some new unorthodox techniques right there. But he's on his back right now, and it looks like Lepo might be choosing to grapple, Dave.
Yeah, but it's a little too late. If I'm correct, that head kick was a knockdown, or was it a stun?
I think it was a stun, but we're back on the feet either way. No missed. He's probably going to try get a knockdown of some type. Uppercut there. Retaliation does go for the pullback. Three-piece lands straight on the face. A leg kick and a straight in combo. Gets to trade. Lepo's got to play so close on defense, and he gets finished.
Wow. What a performance right there from Green Mist, stamping his mark down.
Green Mist, did you say?
Green Mist, yeah. That's it, what?
Great Mist.
Great Mist, sorry. Great Mist. Fantastic, I can see it. Fantastic performance. As you see the signature just engaging back to the
uppercut there, you see it's just a trading ability, Dave, and I think those leg kicks were the main stage you got to him at.
100%. Even if those legs weren't gone, I feel like Mist would have lost a lot of those exchanges if they went the exact same way. He just had no power to punch Gaethje, and that was the main factor.
Yeah, great. Just a great performance. As you said, I was looking for the Poirier counters. I was looking for the boxing that kind of come through, but you just seemed to completely neutralize that. The leg kicks just took away any sort of stance he had, any sort of give he had to land some power onto them shots, and it was just a great performance. Great game plan from Great Mist. Sorry, Green Mist. Great Mist to come out and, you know, cement himself in this division, beating number 5 ranked in the Xbox division. So that's going to propel him really high in them rankings, and I'm looking forward to seeing him again fight.
Yeah, it's always a fun fight to watch Mist, right? He always has hella fights indeed. And up next, as we go deeper into the main card, we have Matty, the TMF Matty D versus the mighty Holyfield, looking to both get a win in each of their columns, and so it's going to be one hell of a fight.
Yeah, Matty D coming in unranked at the moment, but he is fighting a Holyfield who's ranked number 13 in the division with a 2-1 record, and these guys are going to be fighting right now at bantamweight, Dave. I'm not sure who we're going to see. We're going to see it on the screen, but I'm guessing this could be a Peter Yan. It usually is. No,
we got a Dominic Cruz in the hands of Holyfield. TJ, which is an interesting choice I find in Matty D. Matty D particularly enjoys the use of Rob Font just due to that reach, but this time he's gone Holyfield. Maybe wants to use a bit more kickboxing this time around.
Beautiful work right there. Dominic Cruz on the outside. I like to see Dominic Cruz's movement and the characters. He probably still can use that. Matty D catching the leg. Big head kick right there.
Both of them staying fairly patient, fairly slow, and both of them just trying to. I think Matty D's trying to control the center. Gone Holyfield's just trying to look for the counters, but so far Matty D isn't engaging him in the counters until he's confident he can actually land his shots.
Both these guys kind of similar as well with the characters wise. Obviously, you want to see TJ Dillshaw's movement really well, evading shots, landing counters. But Dominic Cruz so hard to hit because of his movement as well, but doesn't really pop a lot on his shots unless you catch or walk into one of your punches.
Hello, I'm back.
Hi, Dave. You're just seeing the crazy battle of movement right now. I don't know if you've been watching it, but it's been a great fight.
No, this is my first glimpse of it.
Nice grab to the foot right there. Goes for the trip, doesn't get it, Doctor, as we come back in.
Oh, that was very close.
Ooh. Very, very close.
Yeah, both of them playing a very steady game here. Both of them looking kind of just to engage, and Whilst not engaging, the counters are seem to be the mainstay. No of them really committing to any type of shots to begin with for the last 3 minutes. Maybe in the next following 2 minutes we'll see something that overhand lands very nicely. Jab coming out front, kick in retaliation, overhand back, and head kick gets blocked.
These guys looking so quick right now throwing the combination. Everything seems to be landing for both guys, either on the guard or, you know, some of them sneaking through. But it's the TJ Dillashaw's power that you've got to watch out for, especially if you cruise, because you've got to be evading the shots and landing counters, not just trading blow for blow.
That was a good leg kick from Dillashaw. I feel like that might be the thing. Everything you're landing is kind of getting blocked. So either go to the body or leg, make him mix it up.
Well, I mean, if you're like, it's a fairly difficult stand-up battle currently. You've got to admit, like, both of them are blocking most things. They can't really find opening up encounters. Both of them, however, have got very good effective wrestling. If we saw there, Holyfield looking to play the more wrestling part. I think that if either one of them goes to that wrestling side, you may see a more diverse game here, and that's exactly what you want. Cruz shot back 3 takedowns there. That was very interesting. He even gassed out, so got to think that maybe his gas tank's going to be a bit sketchy coming into the second round.
And if you want to watch chain wrestling, you want to watch that sequence right there, because that was a beautiful sequence. Constant pressure with the wrestling, constant mixing up with the strike, and then going back down to the wrestling, using the mixed martial art aspect of the game, and having some success to it to end the round, Dave.
Yeah, I don't think it was enough, though. The stats, I think, if I saw correctly, the stats said Cruz landed 14 total strikes that whole round. He's got to find different ways to get on offense. Maybe do that same thing now. Just go relentless on the takedowns, and if you get him down early, then you can use your wrestling as a weapon.
Be careful at the moment because he's getting fired up with the leg kicks, Doctor.
Well, again, it was really interesting that final 20 seconds of the round. She shot about 4 takedowns in the last 30 seconds when you're not going to be able to do much work. It seemed like you were putting in a lot of work for very minimal amount of possible damage time, and it just seemed like he was doing it for the sake of doing it and not doing it tactically per se.
Yeah, and you got to wonder what that actually did to his gas tank. Getting stuffed by itself can take a chunk. And he shot 3 times in a row, so I wish we could see what it looks like.
But he should really go for, maybe, like you said, mix it up right now. He's got his opponent backing up. He keeps pressuring him. He's giving him some space right now. But for the majority of the first 2 minutes of this fight, kind of pressed his opponent up. And that's when I'd like to see him go for them takedowns, go for them shots. Because at the moment he's getting backed up, it seems to be getting picked apart.
Eddie Brabenson fairly patient, digging up Poddy, digging up top, head kick missed. Fairly intrusive to his gas tank, and Cruz now starting to look for those key shots inwards.
I think Cruz is just being too defensive. He's trying too much to play like Dominic Cruz, but that doesn't really work in this game unless you can pull it off very well.
Nice stuff right there as he gets back up and takes the center of the octagon. Again, you see Cruz coming on the outside, trying to step across that foot, trying to get a nice position for a counter. But so far, Marty doing a great job of kind of controlling the rhythm of this fight and where the fight he wants the fight to be.
Oh, that was a nasty slip straight, ducking roundhouse.
Very technical so far, Doctor. Bit of a war going on with the feet at the moment, but both guys really try not to give an inch. But you'd like to think that some of the guys are kind of catching through. But definitely the last round we had a crazy end to the round. Let's see if we get that again, especially from Holyfield.
Yeah, well, both of them playing very slow, very methodical, as you mentioned, but I do feel like Dillashaw's just the one getting the better shots off. He's just finding the shots a bit better, he's sneaking the shots in, and that's kind of been his game so far. Cruz is he's on the back foot and can't seem to get anything going off back foot whilst playing fighter like Dominic Cruz. Be nice to see if he can get any counters off, but again, so far he just hasn't seemed to be able, because the combos, every time Matt gets that jab going, there's at least another 2 shots behind it, and normally they land. Front kick there.
Oh,
huge crazy.
Oh, it's a big rock.
Yeah, definitely. To cement, that's to kind of cement the round, especially in a round that was very close. ish, but there was nothing significant, no knockdowns, no rocks. To get that at the end of the round is massive in a round that potentially they could go either way, depending on how the judges score the fight.
Once again, he only landed 22 strikes that round, and he threw 74. So it's not that he's not throwing; he's just not being very accurate as well. He's got to try and be aggressive. That's gonna be his only chance. He's got to get back up TJ, put him in the center of the octagon, so where he has more chances of landing these shots.
I have to agree. He does do well when he's going forward. Matty D doing a great job of kind of pressing him at the moment as he lands a big combination right there, Doctor.
Gets the knockdown. That was in the part. Lovely get up though and narrowly avoids getting defended. Shoots a takedown. Matty D defends it, and now Dominic Cruz in his clinch position.
The work goes across the cage right now, gets his back, and obviously good option might be 3 minutes 37 seconds to take the fight to the floor, as I was about to say, Dave.
Yeah, the wrestling is gonna favor TJ. He's winning. I don't like Cruz shooting. I think he might just be trying to survive, or maybe he's looking for a nasty top mount where he could possibly get the finish.
It's not a bad strategy at all, especially when you feel like you might be winning the fight. You take the fight to the floor. You're in half guard, and now you find yourself on top mount with nothing can come back at you here, Doctor.
Yeah, it's been fairly patient, fairly just calm in this manner, and again, top mount is being in top position when you're already winning is a good place to be. You control the fight, you can't do any damage, and so Cruz is the one who needs to get up here.
Yeah, 100%, and it doesn't look like he really wants to. I mean, if he, it's over.
He's a bit unconscious to want to now.
He is Astro travelling through the mat as TJ does shot, and more importantly, Matty D gets the win in the third round. Great performance from Matty D to shut out a decent Dominic Cruz there, but obviously I felt like Matty D was in control of the fight from start to finish. In the third round, he put all that work together and managed to show off his ground skills as well.
Indeed, it was very much a slow and methodical game from the get-go. He began with the very methodical pace, both of them trying to have a feel of each other. That second round, we saw the end of it where Matty started taking a bit more control, and then that third round was where it all came to fruition.
Yeah, I'd agree. Cruz just never got it going. He was on the back foot the whole time, which is kind of what you want to do with Cruz. You want to land the counters, but he just couldn't. He wasn't getting any of the counters. Wasn't even really landing on TJ, and just didn't really look like he had a shot.
And now this man needs no introduction. We have the mighty Bang Bang and Magical Cloud in the middleweight division. This is bound to be a banger. Both of them are known for their striking heavy styles, aggressive styles, similar to Great Mister we saw earlier. Bang Bang picking a Nate Diaz pick. Magical Cloud with a Lawler. So this is going to be a back and forth fight, Mr. Humbledink.
Yeah, you've got Bang Bang sitting pretty at the top of the rankings at 15 at the moment. I want to know. And you got Magical Cloud coming in, trying to take that spot right now. I love the Diaz pick versus Robbie Lawler. We've just seen it, but maybe this is going to be a bit more of an active Diaz in this fight than it was in the real one.
Oh, dropped already.
Man, Robbie Lawler looks so smooth. I've played with him a few times in this division, and since the update that he got, and he feels like such a different character
He
than he
hits
used
so
to feel
hard.
when you play him. He feels like a true middleweight.
Yeah, my main thing about Lawler though is he hits so hard that although Bang Bang with his pullbacks, he managed to get the counter. Flying knee narrowly avoids him, ducks over the overhand, and both of them are just looking to knock each other's heads off, as we saw so far.
Yeah, Bang's just not getting out of his face. He's not really landing yet, but he's just picking apart, getting his reads, and then maybe when Bang's just in his face, he's gonna land a huge combo. It's kind of Bang's thing.
Well, it's making a read, seeing how your opponent reacts, and then starting to look for the pullbacks, looking for those counters. And so far, Ban hasn't really thrown that much. He has got a stun, but that seems to be about it so far, Mr. Humbledink.
Nice. In and out movement right there from Bang Bang, obviously trying to make his opponent miss, as we talked about earlier on. But Magical Cloud, he's looking for that count. You can see him moving his head. You can see him ready to rip. It just depends on when he's going to pick his moment to go. And Bang Bang's got to be careful of that, but he's doing a great job so far of kind of pressuring his opponent with that forward pressure, just like a Diaz brother would. Dave.
Yeah, it does look like that. Although Bang got dropped, it doesn't really look like he's losing this fight. I think he's got the head health advantage, and he's picking out the body a little bit, throwing body straights. Oh, nice slip hook right there.
He did get knocked down in the beginning of the fight, so that definitely gives Lawler the advantage here, unless Bang Bang can get a knockdown within a minute 40, which, to be fair, isn't exactly surprising. It's definitely Bang Bang's style to knock someone out within 20 seconds.
Yeah, he's going forward right now. You can see he's looking for the later rounds to do the damage, kind of pick away at his opponent. And the difference is Lawler's going for that one big shot. He's landed it already. It's just the case of, can he get a counter? Can he land it again? He's got to pick his moments in this fight and make sure he capitalizes to do the maximum damage if he does drop his opponent.
Yeah, that's how it usually is with Bang. It's very hard to outstrike him. Oh, what a counter.
As you saw, that's exactly what Bang Bang needed. He needs that one big counter, then he's going to just be on you like a rocket, getting the knockdown, and that's probably secured in the round of how much pressure he was putting on and how effective he was throughout this entire round.
You've got last 14 seconds of the round. The stamina advantage is going to Bang Bang as well, so he's got a lot going for him right now, especially since he got the knockdown at the end of that round. He must have swayed it because he was controlling the round with his pressure throughout the round, even though he did get dropped. And then the end of it kind of might have swayed the judges, who knows, but definitely a much more competitive round towards the end. And Bang Bang did a great job of adjusting during that fight.
Yeah, Bang's just doing what he needs to do. He's sitting in his face. He's jabbing, and then throwing a combo right when he needs to. And he's also touching up that body. He's not doing it very often, but he's doing it just enough where he does have to worry about it.
Right. Sorry, go on.
So Bang Bang so far staying fairly patient, gets the stun there, and now got another stun. Lawler narrowly avoids the uppercut, does get straight, then a jab. Bang goes to look for the finish. Lawler does get up, and both of them are just scary to one another. You got Lawler with the power, you got Bang Bang playing the Diaz, which, although Diaz doesn't hit hard, Bang Bang will just make sure it hits hard.
Oh, and it's just beautiful to watch when Bang Bang gets you hurt. He actually becomes a better fighter, in my opinion. His shot selection becomes a lot more crispy, feints a bit more. He throws ones and twos, and then he'll go back to the ones, then throws a three. Perfect so far from Bang Bang, but he's not exerting himself. He's staying in the face of Lawler, and that's the key at the moment.
Yeah, I agree. Lawler's really having a tough time dealing with this Bang pressure, like almost everyone does. Bang just fights so different than everyone else.
Yeah, Bang Bang's pressure is suffocating. I mean, the one good thing I've seen so far is Magical Cloud has allowed himself not to get stuck against the back of the cage. Like you see a lot with a lot of Bang Bang fighters. He's at least meeting Bang Bang halfway in the middle, but as you can see, even with such a powerful fighter like Lawler, he's still had his head health blitzed before Bang Bang's chin's gone.
And I'd like to see some. I know Lawler's, his kind of stamina's done here. He's kind of hurt. I'd like to see him stop moving so much and kind of meet him. As I was saying, that he gets dropped again. The counters have to come, and he's got to plant his feet if he wants to do some damage at the moment. But I know that's going to be tough against a Bang Bang at the moment, especially with that head health.
Bang Bang's just slow, he's methodical, like you expect him to be he's pressure heavy, he's aggressive, but he's so slow, and that's exactly what you want.
What a counter.
It's one step ahead all the way through that fight. Bang Bang comes out with the victor with Diaz, and it's a great win for Bang Bang, but a great performance more so, Dave.
Yeah, Bang he does exactly what he usually does. He just jabs your block, he gets you worrying, you move your head, and then like right after you move your head, then he throws. It's very hard to even do something about it. You've got to land a great counter, like a pull on his hook or uppercut or just something.
And even if you do, he's back in your face. He doesn't give up the game plan. He doesn't stop. He doesn't take pictures, as people like to say. He gets straight back to the game plan, and the forward pressure comes back again. And eventually, he gets you. That's the thing. Eventually, he gets you.
Does indeed. Batman's just got incredible pressure. Now on to the co-main event of the evening. Don't Wrestle Me versus the mighty Cryptic Optics in the lightweight division. By the seams of it, I think we're going to be getting Islam Makhachev versus Dustin Poirier.
And a big fight for the PlayStation division. Number 4, Cryptic Optics versus number 11, Please Don't Wrestle Me. 2-1 versus 2-0. This is going to be a fantastic fight. And we all like to see a bit of a new character getting used, especially in the primetime division. Gives a bit of variety. So we'll see how he weighs up in this one, Dave.
Yeah, I've never seen Islam Makhachev. I've never even taken a look at his stats. I do find it interesting that Don't Wrestle Me is using Islam.
Yeah.
I wonder if the name is more of a request or like a threat, like you're going to get out wrestled.
It is definitely a threat because he's a great wrestler. But Makhachev, for me, when I looked at his stats, he's a 4-star. They usually put everybody in at 4 stars, but his stats don't do him justice, in my opinion. He's not a usable character for me against the likes of Dustin Poirier, but we'll see how Please Don't Wrestle Me gets on as the moment he gets a takedown, a single leg into half guard.
Yeah, and good top work, just controlling. He's building GA, and he's going to try and get out of the guard and then do damage. I'm liking this.
Beautiful work there from Please Don't Wrestle Me. As he moves into half guard, it's going to be really important for Crypto not to be impatient here and just pick his moments to try and build that GA to get out or get up, or maybe get a reversal even.
Well, one of the most interesting things when it comes to Islam Makhachev, at least from what I've seen from his stats, is he's got very good top game, very good takedowns. I think he's got a decent bottom game as well, at least I hope so now. But the one thing he does lack, at least across the board, is power. He's only got about 89 power, which means his ground and pound's going to be a bit weaker, his striking's going to be a bit weaker, so he kind of needs to make up for it in terms of volume. I think his recoveries are only about 89 as well. I could be wrong as well, so got to be wary of that. Poirier now in top position, going for a Kimura attempt, and he's staying fairly well stuck onto it now.
Beautiful. Sorry, go on.
I'd imagine that was just to feel out his joint subs. He had like half stem, and that's not a very strong sub. So he's just getting ready for later in the fight when he could possibly actually get a sub.
Great fight IQ right there. Usually these guys, it's all about patterns, right? It's all about reading that pattern, see if your opponent kind of does something, where they start off, what they do, and making notes of their mental notes in your head to then utilize those game plans later on in the fight. So all these top level players, you see these guys kind of doing this. They want information through the first round especially.
Indeed, Makhachev staying fairly patient on the ground, although Poirier again has done a fantastic job at controlling him. Makhachev was the one to take it down. Cryptic's the one to seemingly get the control. This side control, he hasn't been able to get out. Now we're in this knee on belly position, lands one shot, comes back down, and now going to probably just look for those side control elbows just to do it. And Sprawl denying 40 seconds left on the clock, and Poirier maintained a brilliant side control there.
And this has got to be daunting, right, Dave? It's got to be daunting when you're the wrestler and you get taken down. It's pretty similar to the Rose Namajunas versus Willie Zhang fight, where Zhang was taking Rose down, and then in the last 2 rounds, you've seen a complete switch around and Rose takes Zhang down there. It's got to be daunting, though, right, Dave?
Oh yeah, like where do you go from here? You've got to imagine that your game plan was to wrestle. You've probably got a striking disadvantage. Do you stick with the wrestling and just try to control them and not get flipped? Or do you take a chance and try to outstrike them?
Well, it's interesting to note at the very end, I think, by looking on the stats, I have 6 significant strikes in favour of Islam to 2. So I think Poirier might have actually lost that round purely from that little bit of ground pound we saw at the end. Though that's what the thing is, a lot of the ground is people need to make sure you do the damage on the ground, because if you don't do the damage, you're not going to win the round. And so far Islam's using the lovely that jab straight, just keep maintaining that distance against Poirier. Now Poirier's starting to put on this pressure a bit, and he probably is looking for like one big shot here, especially after the last round.
Oh, slip the combo.
Beautiful work right there. He's happy to strike right now. He's you can tell that the ground's kind of not where he wants to be, or not where he thinks he can have an advantage on the fight. So he's trying to get ahead with the boxing and use his Shiva. We've never seen Islam fight like this before, but maybe he's going to try and mix in the takedowns with the strike, Dave, and that might disguise him to get it later on. Oh wow.
Cryptic taking it straight down. He knew that he had a brilliant side control, and that's a very effective part of his game plan, it seems like, Dave.
Yeah, this Poirier he's been killing Makhachev in that side control. He's landed probably 10 or 15 elbows just in this first round in 2 minutes.
Great work right there, building the GO. Obviously, Poirier had some success towards the end of round 1, and he's decided, I'm going to try and take the fight to a similar position, put Islam on his back, and try and wrestle. Please don't wrestle me, which is ironic, but yeah, Doctor.
Again, Poirier gets his top mount. Poirier has a lot of control here, gets the deny, and so far this seems to be Poirier's mainstay. It seemed like Makhachev was winning on the feet. Poirier took it down, and now Makhachev's suffering the adverse effects from outstriking the Poirier here.
Yeah. I feel like the story of this is just Poirier is just the better wrestler. It appears, and where do you go when you're Makhachev? You picked a wrestler. Your game plan was to wrestle, and you're just getting out wrestled the whole time.
Yeah, he's you got to think as well. Like it's like an episode of What If at the moment, because Poirier is going for the submission right now on Islam Makhachev. Can you imagine seeing this in real life? How the tables have turned, as they'd say, Doctor.
Yeah, the tables have turned indeed. Poirier now in this top man position, looking to rain some of that ground and pound down. Lovely block there, does get the stun. That is a low stam. You could easily go for anything. Goes for an armbar. 40-second armbar. Yeah. This is a viable sub that you just need to make sure to maintain it.
I like what he's doing. He's kind of controlling the center, figuring out what he's going to do, and I think he might. If he goes through with this, he might end up strong at the end of the sub.
He might end up strong at the end of the sub. Only 15 seconds left, so if he does get reversed, he's not going to matter particularly much. It seems like Makhachev's staying fairly patient. He knows for a fact his armbar's going to do it. And it ends the round. It looked like that was a very strong sub, and he may have got that if he had enough time. But that being said, we go straight into this third and final round. It's been a really interesting back and forth fight here.
Amazing fight so far, and like I said, it is like an episode of What If. The tables have turned, and Islam Makhachev, I believe the game plan's got to be to come out and strike, right? You've been controlled on the ground, you've been dominated in certain areas, and you've nearly got finished with the submission. You've had some success with the striking. Now you've got to come out and kind of fight a Dustin Poirier, where his strength is striking, but that's where you need to win the fight, in my opinion, Dave.
Yeah, I agree. The wrestling is not working, and you're down 2 rounds. Wrestling really isn't even an option unless you can think you can get a nasty top mount. He's just gotta hope he can land a nasty counter, or maybe just catch him off guard with a combo.
Possibly in the first round we had Islam as well, who might have done more damage or more significant strikes on the ground. So it's a very close round to score, but it's all going to come down to this last round right now. And both guys are meeting each other in the center of the octagon, and you can see Islam there getting taken down in a half guard. Doctor.
Yeah, well, you saw earlier that Poirier just broke Makhachev's leg for a single second. Makhachev getting this up onto the clinch. He's actually up on the feet, but that means he's still against the cage, and he's still worked himself back down onto the mat. And now Poirier's got an easy access towards the top ramp, which we saw was the most risky position of it all so far. Yes, deny, lovely job there. 3 minutes left on the clock. There's still a lot of time to work, though, Dave.
Yeah, I agree, but I don't think that Islam could have won that round. He got controlled for 3.5 minutes, and Poirier landed some nasty side control damage. I think that Islam has to stand up.
Well, we do see an armbar attempt on the bottom guard. Both of them staying fairly cautious. You saw Poirier did do the armbar at the beginning, the end of the last round. He did fairly succeed, so it may be the case. Doesn't get the slam, and now this is a scary part because if he gets it deep, it's going to be deep.
Yeah, he looks like he's doing a good job at the moment, though, of kind of winging that submission and trying to get it out there, not overexert, but the fist come right now to the face, and it's going to be an escape from Islam, but he's back in the guard, and he's barely got any stamina. He tries to get up again. He's going to go to rubber guard, and this is going to be a dangerous position right now, Dave.
Yeah, 100%. But he does get the get up. I feel like if I was Poirier, I probably would have been camping stat guard. You know, it's a momentum transition, and Islam is really going to try to get up.
All the time. He's now landing them brutal uppercuts, but like you said earlier on, Doctor, the power's not quite there at 89 with it being a new character and with the stats they always give the new character. Going up against this Poirier in the stand-up department, it's still difficult, even if you are landing a few more shots on him.
Yeah, Poirier seems to be having a better time there. Does get a knockdown, probably securing the round. Now Makhachev will come back with a knockdown in his own, getting a knockout or just survive. It depends on what he wants to do here. Maybe he's confident. Does get the reversal, slips out from the hooks and starts trading in his pocket with Poirier. Poirier lands a leg kick. 30 seconds left on the clock, and both of them are just still going at it, looking to make sure to secure the round.
Yeah, please don't wrestle me at the moment. Is starting to obviously use that striking really well.
Oh,
what a setup! You never see someone throw double jab head kick.
Beautiful work right there. Beautiful sepi. You expect that straight afterwards. Usually the straight comes and then the head kick follows. But that was clean as you get, Dave.
Yeah, I really like the creativity of that. You don't ever see someone throw it. Like you sometimes see the lead kicks, like you'll see jab lead head kick. You never see jab and then body roundhouse or just roundhouse. That was beautiful.
It really was indeed. That was a menacing fight. Both of them playing a very aggressive fight.
But yeah, we move on to the core main event of the evening. We've got KM Intro versus EK Dirty Dave. So Dirty Dave is going to be hopping out of the commentary booth to have his fight. Good luck, Dave.
Yep. Thank you.
And no problem. And it's going to be me and the Doctor calling Dirty Dave's fight. Doctor, can you tell me a bit more about these two guys in particular?
So Intro has a more striking basis, got some instant pressure, can play on the back foot like a lot of the KM members. EK Dirty Dave is a grappler at heart. He has built up an entire personality around the striking ability, but that's not where he's grown to in recent times. He's a very much an all-round MMA fighter.
And one of my favorite things about these types of fights is the team versus team aspect of the fight. We have EK, one of the best teams in the world. Everybody knows EK. And then we've got the Kingsman, KM as well. Two of the top teams in the Xbox division battling it out. And we're going to get a mirror match right now, a Peter Yan versus Peter Yan matchup. So this one's always going to be a hard match to fight from either guy, because you're coming up against the same type of fighter, but it's a pressure fighter, it's a tough fighter to break, and these are usually absolute wars, Doctor.
These are absolute wars in most cases, especially Yan. Anybody who does the most damage to begin with gets force of nature activated, which I think, as Dave mentioned earlier on in the card, it means even the body kicks and leg kicks, you can have the ability to take more damage. Intro maintaining this distance so far. Dave playing pitter-patter shots, just looking to figure out his range, and both of them going very steady and very slow to begin with.
I really like what Dave did early in that fight there. He switched stance and started landing that the lead hook from Peter Yan's southpaw position, but he's also moving to the outside of Peter Yan's forward pressure, which is going to set up his body kick. It's going to set up his straight down the middle, and he's going to set up that lead hook every time he does that. So really nice work there from Dave, trying to use that movement to his advantage going on to the middle of this first round.
Both of them same play patient, both of them looking for leg kicks as well, slowly chipping each other down just as you do it, and both of them, I would say they're both fairly content with just trading shots, looking for like one big room. It seems like we're going to see a bit more of the Matty D fight to begin with, at least in this first round, once they both establishes each other's abilities.
One thing I'm really liking from both guys as well, and you can tell it's at a high level, is when they miss their first shot, if they whiff a first shot, they kind of cancel out the seconds. They know how to quickly hit their buttons, and it's really important so you don't whiff big shots and obviously land in the pocket or land in a certain range that you don't want to be in. It's controlling the distance throughout the fight, and that's what's going to keep these guys out of trouble.
Both of them looking for that GA bar. Dave building up the GA fairly early. He gets that side control. He came intro noticing he has GA, then gets back out of the half guard. And the stamina advantage gives Dave that half guard position. Now he's building that GA within this half guard. He wants to side control. He wants just to gain momentum and position on intro. And that's kind of the way the grappling goes. It's position over submission and position over damage always.
Well, he certainly knows what he's talking about when he comes to the grappling aspect, because you can tell right now he is taking his time. He's building that GO up. He's, as you said, posturing up, and he's been very cautious where he needs to be. But a beautiful get up right there for Caliber. I might have put some commentary curse on that right there, but we know where Dave wants to control the fight majority, but he's comfortable anywhere in where this fight goes, and that's kind of the key at the moment. Both guys having a great performance, but Dave, for me, he's kind of just picking his opponent apart when he needs to.
Yeah, Intro's having a bit of struggling here. He's trying to establish that range, trying to establish his shots, and he's just having a bit of difficulty. Dave, on the other hand, feels fairly patient, fairly calm. He's on the back foot. He's coming them forward when he knows he can. After Intro's fired, that jab straight, head kick in retaliation, hook comes over. Those are some nice shots, but I just don't think they're going to be anything particular until we look into this second round.
Nice rally at the end, though, from KM Intro at the end. He's doing what he needs to do. He's putting combinations together and trying to catch his opponent. It might have been too little too late, but I'm just really liking how Dave took control that round. He's using a lot of single shots to kind of offset the rhythm, as we keep talking about throughout, and he's switching stances really nicely, giving his opponent different types of looks and landing a bunch of combinations alongside a takedown as well. So for me, he kind of just edged that round, but as we go into the second, it's all to play for right here, Doctor.
It is still all to play for, especially these two, especially with someone like Peter Yan. So far, Intro's played the fairly aggressive game. He got a lot of the head held damage done there. Dave trying to play the kickboxing game finally realises that probably not going to work here, and so Dave goes back to more boxing. But again, he's looking to maintain that distance. He wants Intro to be fighting into the pocket, not fighting in the pocket.
Yeah, 100%. You see some big movements come right there with the big head kicks, but he obviously lands us on the guard. But you don't want to be catching one of them in the side of the noggin. You know, it's not going to be clean. It's not going to be nice to get one of them, and it can land some big damage. As we see a switch kick to the body right there from Intro with a forward pressure continuing, Doctor.
A switch kick lands. Intro gets the stun, the rear hook, and those teams have been a massive game. They want to get that distance. They both want to be having to make each other establish that distance again, because again, it's all about who can make the other person fight into the pocket more and take more damage.
Oh, no. Beautiful sidestep there from Dave. Lands a clean combination. Nearly gets caught throwing a couple of shots in the pocket there himself, but he's starting to open up with his combinations now. You see him throwing singles a lot in the first round. He's starting to meet fire with fire as it comes to the center, and it might be open up an opportunity for Intro to get back into this fight and kind of land some big shots of his own.
Yeah, he's slowly starting to open up opportunities to Intro. It's still a fairly close round. Both of them, neither of them really sure who's winning the fight. Both of them staying fairly patient. Dave's whipping a couple shots, Intro's whipping a couple shots. Any shots they do whiff, it's annoying because they can't cancel it in time. But a minute 40 left on the clock, and both of them are still fairly content with going at the pace they're going. Takedown hit by Dave, mixing that up, humble.
Really liked how he went for an uppercut to a straight there, mixing up his combinations, and then went straight for a takedown afterwards. Usually when someone throws an uppercut, it makes you think about not going for a certain takedown, or it makes you think about not doing a certain move. You don't want to get caught with another one, so a block high is usually after that, and now he's just starting to cruise through the mount on the ground, and he's in a really good position right now to land some ground and pound off with 56 seconds off, and he tries to. Big shots covering up right now from Intro, and Dirty Dave has got him hurt, but not able to finish the fight right there, Doctor.
Lovely denial there again. Dave understanding and just predicting the way Intro's going, building that GA, then coming on top with this ground and pound, now starting to rain heavily down. Intro's done a fantastic job at blocking those hooks and now gets out of the top mat position. A minute 16 seconds left on the clock. Not much Dave can do to secure the damage apart from the control time. Fairly content with just doing a couple of rabbit punches to finish off the second round.
Yeah, that's a tough fight to call. Obviously, the first round was super close. The second round again, I believe Davis took both rounds, but it's not a major margin. But he's kind of Obviously, there's no big knockdowns, no big rocks in the fight, but he's definitely technically outclassed his opponent in my humble opinion, as I'd say. But this is still all to play for. The intro's not out the fight. His body's not hurt. His head's not hurt too much. He's got a lot of stamina to try and load on Dave here to try and get him out. Oh, big head kick. Nice work right now. Goes for the slip straight, just misses. And Dave is firing off in the center of the octagon.
Both of them, again, it's been the mainstay. Like, Dave's been on his back foot, but he hasn't exactly shown that he's scared of being on the back foot. Because, I mean, in some cases, you could argue that he's winning just because the way he's doing it. He's sneaking shots in, he's got that takedown game, and then in intros, on the other hand, it seems like he's, if we go back to the Matty D versus Holyfield fight, intro seems to have the same issue where a lot of his shots are getting blocked and a lot of the main damage is getting blocked. Whilst he's doing damage, a lot of it's just small, gentle shots compared to the bigger shot he's thrown.
Ooh, that body kick is starting to land at will, but I do agree with you. I just like how his shot selection's coming out. Intro is trying his best to win this fight, though, as he goes forward. He's trying to mix up as much as he possible. It's just difficult when your opponent's switching rhythms on you constantly. He's throwing ones, he's throwing twos, and then sometimes he'll plant his feet and throw a 4-piece or like a 3-piece with a duck and another shot at the end. As he lands a big shot right there, he's going to go forward and try and press the action right now.
This is what you're going to be doing. You're going to be pressing the action, playing the aggressive part, just to make sure that you can, because you're never sure who's particularly winning. As we've seen, it's a very interesting fight, to say the least. Both of them have fairly worked to the body and head. The stamp's fairly good. The stun, though, there, ducks under, doesn't get the stun. Nearly gets clipped to the body there. Dave playing very aggressive, and 2 minutes left on this clock so far. Dave seems to be the aggressor in this round, seems to be winning the round as well. That body kick, as you mentioned, again, landing cleanly. This is a very much... I don't know, it's a fight and a half, I can tell you that much. It's a very technical and methodical fight.
Intro is a worry. He's still landing his shots. He's still coming forward. He's still landing certain shots. Like I said right there with the big up. Dirty Dave's kind of found good shot selection that's kind of working for him right now, and he's utilising it to a T. And he gets rocked or caught right there, not rocked, but he needs to be careful. One of them can put him down. We all know about the ground and pound in this game. You have to be so careful especially when you're leading a fight, or if he thinks he's leading a fight against KM Intro.
Yeah, if he just, I think if he doubles up on that a jab, then throws a straight, then could always try to throw like a roundhouse, a ducking roundhouse. He may have some success, but I think at Dave, that block overcommitted, and you can do it. But so far, Dave is just poking at that block, digging to all parts of Jan's body here and head, and that teep comes out again. And it's just so methodical, slow, and so patient that neither of them can really capitalize on any major start apart from the knockdown there.
3 seconds left. Can he finish his opponent? One more shot and that could have been done. But the buzzer rings and we're going to go to a judge's decision. You've got to think Dirty Dave might have done enough to get that one. We're about to find out.
Dirty Dave does indeed, taking the victory over. Maybe we'll see the fight statistics.
Possibly. But it was a great fight anyway. The both guys 4-1 right there from
30-27 in the favour. It's 22-17, 14-5. And especially in that first round, you saw that Dave had a very was very good within that first part.
Yeah, he was. He had. I just liked his shot selection, the way he switched his stance, giving his opponent a lot of different looks. Countering with certain shots when he needed to, and just picking the moments to kind of go and when not to go. He did suffer some adversity and he had to deal with some forward pressure, but I think he did a fantastic job of doing so. We've got him back, so we'll ask him some questions. So David, what was the game plan going into that fight?
To open up in that fight, I was really planning to wrestle. I kind of felt that I was doing good in the striking, so I actually kept it there. And for a lot of that fight, it was just me taking advantage of Jan's Force of Nature perk. I had a +5 chin on him, and that really became part of my plan.
Beautiful work as we see you get a win in the division right there. But we always say, Doctor, and I'll let you get on with it, but the main event of this evening is opponents, and it's a fantastic fight. So let's get down to business.
Yeah, it's the main event of the season, LW Reaper versus Deaglefly. I mentioned at the start of the card, it is The title eliminator fight. Winner of this fight's Atacon on Sunday. All things going well. And now let's get straight into the fight. No need to wait. We've seen the rest of the card. We've seen fights from Dave, Humbledink, Mayday, Bang Bang, Caliber. So many names. M-Tran even. He's in massive fights so early on in the card. And the Dale Denton fight to start us off with the fight. That was a massive fight, just running through a couple of fights of the card. Let's get straight into this one and watch this headline event.
And as you said earlier on, it is a number one title fight, eliminator for the belt. And Deagle Fly coming in number one ranking with 4-1, and Reaper number 2 ranking 3-1. So we've got the second and third best guy in the division right now, apart from the champion. And these guys are going to try and knock that champion off. You'd expect a really dominant performance from one of these guys to come forward, or one of them to put a stamp on. Because when you're fighting the champion, you need to tell him I'm here. You need to tell him I'm coming for that belt, and you need to make him worried, in my opinion.
In the lightweight division, we have Deagle Flyer going, Max, the ever mighty Holloway, and Dustin Poirier as LW Reaper. Both of them starting fairly aggressive. Body kick in the mid-center already, and both of them already playing aggressive with the body and head kicks. Head kicks? Yeah, sure.
Not going to go 5 rounds with this pace, Dave. I don't know about you, but this is a extraordinary pace to start off with 30 seconds. We can see the stamina kind of dwindling there, especially from Deagle Fly.
Yeah, that's kind of what you expect when you see a Max Holloway. He's going to come out crazy, and you kind of got to weather the storm. You get past that, and especially in lightweight, Max Holloway isn't too great in lightweight. I don't really like Max Holloway at all. I think there's better options, but that's kind of the whole plan when you pick him.
Well, Max Holloway is, sorry to cut you off there, Humble, is a volume striker. That's what you want to do with Holloway. You need to pepper them over and over and over again. And hopefully they eventually crumble. But the issue is, will the cardio make it? He does have the best cardio stats probably in the game, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to just be able to destroy over and over again without getting gassed out. Humble.
Yeah, as you both of you guys have just reiterated about the gas tanker so far, I'm really liking what Poirier is doing right now. And I am Reaper, he's picking his opportunity, kind of firing. It's usually after Max has exerted some of his energy, and it's kind of making him with that third shot as well, not just the second. It's the third shot when they're kind of already tired, and then punishing him afterwards. And that's really key to kind of taking that gas tank down. We're going to see if he can continue that, or is Deagle Fly going to actually try and change his game plan going forward into this fight?
Yeah, I think Max Holloway he's not got his guard up. He's just getting caught by anything Poirier. So he's got to focus more on defense. And if he does that, I feel like he's picking apart Poirier quite a bit. He could do good here.
Misses the front kick right there, but lands one of his own. Reaper now pressing Max Holloway against the fence and takes a step back. I'm dubious about that decision, Doctor, but he had to seem to have a great position right there.
Does seem like, again, no, I'm just more interested in the stamina game here, because I think that's going to be the story of the night for this fight. Is, can Holloway keep himself keep his gas tank up whilst dealing with the onslaught of Poirier here, because Poirier's going to be looking to do the body work, looking to go up the head as well. And with 40 seconds left in the round, it seems like already that Poirier's starting to run away with the stand battle.
Yeah, I agree 100%. He's winning that stamina battle. Oh, and that leg kick's not gonna do any good for him. Got checked. But yeah, if this Holloway starts picking apart his body, which he hasn't been doing it that much. It's been Poirier who's been picking at the body. He's kind of got to even it out.
Yeah, he's got to go after that. He's got to neutralize it. I suffered it in my own fight as well. Realized my stamina was too low, and I tried to bring it back. But it's one of them things that you've got to be conscious of. You can't just keep the same sort of tempo throughout the fight. If the first round's not quite working for you, that game plan needs to switch. You need to change it up. You need to be able to adapt on the fly. That's what the best players do. And at the moment, we'll get to see if he can do that against a Poirier. He's not ranked number 2 in the world for no reason. So this one is going to be an interesting one going forward, Doctor.
It really is. You see, Holloway's managed to get a good recovery on the stam and knee to the body, though, and Poirier knows for a fact that the body work's going to be his game. If he continues it, he's going to start getting some shots going. You have got to be wary, though. If you duck down and get front kicked in the face, there's no chin strong enough to take that.
Yeah, that was a massive shot. You can't take too many of those. If this fight, I feel like if this fight goes past the second, that body health for Max Holloway might end up being too much. And the stamina disadvantage, that could play a huge factor.
He's really doing an effort right now to try and press the action as well. He's trying to push Poirier back. He's trying to be in Iron Reaper's face and not give him any sort of space to kind of move. But Reaper doing a good job of pushing him back there with the spinning kicks and keeping him at bay with a jab as well.
Deagle's doing a good job landing on Poirier, though. He keeps landing, and I feel like that Reaper might end up getting dropped.
Yeah, he keeps landing, but again, I feel like just Reaper's having the abilities peppering up and down the body. And the main difference here is that Deagle flies work in the head a lot more. Poirier, on the other hand, is working both the head and the body, and that was definitely the case, as you saw. It's the case of, are you going to be able to get the ability to work chin, or are you going to be able to get the body work done beforehand?
Big shot right there, though, from Holloway as he dropped his opponent, as you predicted, Dirty Dave. And now Poirier seems to be on the ropes. He's backing up quite a lot. I can tell he's going to the body, but he needs to avoid throwing them kicks in the pocket. He's going to get caught.
Max is really putting on the pressure here. So, it's looking. He's really looking to put him out here.
And stamina's not too bad as well. I feel like he's maintained it throughout this round, Doctor. Gets hit right there, but he doesn't follow up.
That's what you wanted with the Holloway. That body rock is exactly what you want, Humboldt. You've been knocked down as Poirier, but you've got that body stun, and now you know that body's hurt. That's what you need to do. Your head health is blinking. You've got to play really defensive now, though. That's the only issue with this fight.
Would I be correct? Would I be correct to say that Poirier has recharger?
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I believe that Poirier has recharger, and that could mean a lot.
Yeah, if he gets a recharge during rounds, he's definitely going to mean a lot as well, especially with the Max Holloway with his body down. But the issue that I can see right now is that head health just does not look good from Poirier. Max Holloway's body, obviously, if you give me a battle between the head and the body on this game, I would always pick to have the body better than the head, just because the head health on this game, it's too easy to hit people. Ahead. But it's an interesting fight going forward, especially when both guys have had success in both areas.
Yeah, it's a very difficult fight now because Poirier needs to do the body work. He needs to now start working the head. However, Poirier hasn't seemingly got a chin. So that's exactly what you wanted to start out with. Getting this very aggressive now, and Poirier getting against the cage, working him down very slowly, and Deagle Fine now needs to be on the aggressive side. The head health is low. He's got good stam even in the third round. Both of them do. Uppercutted though.
Nasty.
Body and
nice work right now from Reaper. He's doing a good job of landing the shots he needs to land, but you can keep seeing it. That head health of Poirier keeps blinking every time he gets touched.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be able to protect his head enough to take advantage of Max's body. That's going to be the story. Can he be defensive enough to not take any massive hits from Holloway?
I mean, you've got 3 rounds to. Sorry, humble to cut you off there, but Poirier's got 3 rounds to do it, and he's got 3 rounds to survive or get the finish. It's one of the two, and I imagine at the rate that both of them are going, you will expect to see the finish.
Yeah, the way this one is going at the moment, it doesn't look like it's going to last too long. But Poirier now playing a lot more smart, playing on the outside. Reaper doing a good job of just making sure, I'm not getting hit too much. Like as Dave said, he needs to avoid that, and he needs to start landing shots perfectly, just like that, as he's got his opponent pinned against the fence. And Deagle Fly gets out the back door to try and hit that head again, Dave.
Something to note is Max's left leg is very hurt. It's going to take away more of that power that Max Holloway already doesn't really have. So maybe he could use that to stop himself from getting hurt.
Yeah, I think now the biggest threat to Poirier is going to be the counters. His head was blinking. Max Holloway's power is already gone, and lovely head movement there by Deagle. Front kick there, body kick on top with the strike coming down. Both of them just trying to find this one last shot. It seems like both of them are having difficulty just getting that finish, getting the shot, just to put them either to bed.
You said something really important right there, the counters for Deagle Fly. And if I'm Deagle Fly right now, I'm kind of abandoning the strategy of throwing 3-4 piece combos. I'm trying to land a counter. He seems to keep throwing. He's letting Poirier go first, and then he's going second, and then Poirier's going, and he's trying to sometimes land. But at the moment, I believe he just needs to try and counter his opponent, try and predict, try and feint some stuff, because Poirier at the moment is kind of leading the dance when it comes to that body. The commentators.
Yeah, this is the issue though, is just they're both so hurt, they're both so damaged. Like one big shot on anybody, that's what you wanted when you're Deagle. I thought he would get this KO, doesn't. Head kick whiffs, and a switch kick in retaliation. That body kick doesn't do much. Slam down and takes it down to the mat. That's what you want to do within the last few seconds of the third round.
What a round that was.
I didn't like the decision to switch kick. You haven't been working his body any this fight. Why would you have an opportunity? Do you go to the body? Just that didn't make much sense to me.
It's an interesting idea. Sometimes you do stuff really peculiar in the heat of the moment. That's just the way it goes. That's the part of being in a league fight. We're now entering the championship rounds, Humble, and this is a fight and a half.
Yeah, and the stamina obviously looks bad. Sorry, Dave, the stamina obviously looks bad, but it's not too bad, right, David? You can still land some big shots, especially with the head health the way it is.
Oh yeah, for sure. He's doing a good job applying the pressure, giving himself opportunities to land. But I think this Poirier is doing a good job waiting for him to throw and then hitting him while he's not at full stamina, or just countering.
Beautiful work right there.
Let's also note that Poirier's block is really low. He's taking a lot of shots on his block. Holloway, on the other hand, not so much. Holloway is hurt in about 3 different areas we saw there. He had a body kick, a head kick, and his leg are all flashing. The fact he's currently on the floor is impressive, and both of them must be so tense right now. Like, you just don't know who the hell's going to get it. A stun there is so scary.
Chasing his opponent down right now. He's going for a big kick or a big spinning elbow back fist right there. He's got his opponent really hurt. He's going to try and drop him against that fence.
Dustin Poirier on the ground. Your block's so hurt. You're going to have to hope and pray that you don't get finished. He doesn't.
Wow.
But Christ, you can see the blood on the floor. They had a war and a half.
Absolutely elite defense right there.
Wow.
That's what you... Either one of these are welcome to a title shot. The war they put on is impressive of all hell. Poirier now on the ground, probably in the safety department after that knockdown. Holloway getting the denial though, and this is a scary fight and a half.
Ooh. Hicks is back, and obviously he's going to go for top mount right now, or maybe let Poirier get to that backside. Can you get up and land some damage right now? That's the key.
This is it.
He survives.
What a fight this is. This is incredible. Both guys really wanting this. Reaper hanging on for dear life as Holloway lands that ground and pound.
Reaper
has to get up.
Reaper has to get up, get a reversal. He has to get something going here, because otherwise Deaglefly will just land shot after shot. That block low, and he gets the finish.
Yeah, he got him.
Wow. What a fight. Man, his perseverance to that fight was incredible. He just didn't give up, even when he had he missed huge shots and he's got his body damaged. He just continued to weather the storm until the end. And the ground, no one would expect the ground and pound would get it done for Max Holloway, but it does.
Neither man would die, neither man wants to ever give up, and it was so evident in that fight.
It's going to set up a big match now between Deaglefly, who's 5-1, versus Atakin, UFC Turkey, who's now 5-0. That's going to be a hell of a fight. I can't wait. That's representing the PlayStation division for the title, so it's going to be incredible. And hopefully I can creep up there myself as well. Now I'm 2-0 in the primetime division, eventually get my title shot against one of those guys, because honestly, I'd like to fight either of those people, any one of those guys, even Reaper or Deaglefly. They're both fantastic.
Indeed. That was a hell of a fight for the main event of this evening. We've had a hectic main card from start to finish. You had the likes of M-Tran with his McGregor pick. You had the Uzman GSP fight, in which Uzman managed to get 3 knockdowns in the space of 20 seconds. Mystic Mac versus Broomstick. Swiss B, Pudgy, Caliber's fight, Mist fight, Bang Bang's fight. You've got every fight on this card has been fun in some way. But with that being said, it is time to end this hectic night.
Yeah, you were correct. Every fight, I can't remember a fight being boring. I'll just say that. The prime time guarantee. There was not one single fight I can think of that was bad on this card.
Indeed.
Yeah, that was an awesome fight card. I think I have to agree with you. I can't remember a boring fight.
And with that being said, we will be back on Sunday, this Sunday the 14th, the same time as usual, 8:30 GMT, 3:30 Eastern, with hopefully Atakin versus Deaglefly in the main event, looking to defend the PlayStation belt. Maybe Atakin will get that one and finally get that one loss, and Deaglefly becomes 6-1. Who knows? With that being said, that's all from the PT crew. Have a good night.